So then now, eventually now, Mwendi and I get into a relationship.
So that's when you met her?
That's how I met her. It was through Harry.
So was it weird the first time you met?
It was super weird. It was super weird because I'd been talking
You're
a good
brave.
game on the phone.
All talk.
In person, I was a mouse, man. I was like,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day 2. I know for those of you who are watching, you're probably watching this in a series and you're like, ala, kwa nini humse amechange nguo?
It's a whole nother day.
It's a whole other day. I told Kanjii his story is too long, that when he comes here, he needs to ensure that he doesn't give me nothing less than 3 days. Now is when he's understanding. He's like, okay, I get.
I get it now.
I understand. But at least he gave me 2 days.
I did. See?
Yeah, 2 days. So today we are going. We are going.
Let's go, man.
Sawa. So let me sort of do some context. So where we've left this off, Milele has dropped forever.
Yeah.
There's Level Up that is in the mix.
Yeah.
But then you said something so powerful that you coming back home dramatically.
Yes.
Tuendelee.
Okay, so so chronologically, I guess it's the we drop Level Up. We come to Kenya, do another tour in Kenya, and I mean, and those were great. And I believe, we did Kampala Pentecostal at the time, Watoto Church.
Wow.
So we did some stuff in UG as well.
Yeah.
And there was mad love for us in UG.
Yeah.
We had just a great relationship with Uganda. And personally, I've always had there's always been like just a good relationship, maybe because of Steve Jean and Ruchi from Limitex.
I need to say this. A lot of people don't understand, but gospel Kenyan music penetrated into Uganda.
Yeah.
Because of you. And you, Milele, you, myself, is how I ended up at Watoto Church.
Yeah.
Now, the amount of people whose music I'd take there.
Yeah.
Is that.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's such an insight, man. Because, and I guess at the beginning, so one of the, I guess, storylines for my life is, so I consider myself a pretty decent strategist, but it's amazing how much of my life is unstrategic. Like, it's unbelievable. like how many things I look back and I'm like, okay, that wasn't the strategy.
Yeah.
But that was the result, right? So us guys, we're just following the path in front of us.
Wow.
So we go there, we record Level Up. So we do the Watoto Church because we're there.
Yes.
And it's amazing. We make really good friends. We're obviously great friends with Limitex. Then there was another group, First Love, in Uganda, that was like, the second coming of Limitex.
Yeah.
Tight Harmonies, it was almost like a brother group to us. And so there's all this connectivity with Uganda just simply because that's where we are and those are the people that we know. And so everyone who worked on our stuff, whether it was makeup artists for photo shoots or the photographer or whatever, it was all happening, real time. And then years later, when Mavuno and hip hop and you guys are all going to Uganda, there's this whole backstory of stuff that happened in years before.
That we're still riding.
Yeah.
That we're still riding. Yeah. I mean, the first time I ever went to UG, it's Ruchi's house we stayed at.
Yeah.
Kirk Franklin. The
Kirk
Franklin
concert. Yeah.
In fact, you took Mavuno worship down for that.
Yeah.
I think it's important to say this Fat Fest via Enoch.
And That's how Mavuno Kampala got planted. It was through that connection.
Oh, this your story is the foundation for all other guys. How Daddy Owen ended up going to tour UG. You're not just called randomly. There's people who've planted seeds and thrown your name in.
Yeah.
And that's a thing that I think we will hear more in your story. But then I just interjected there when you're talking about the UG, because I'm looking at it from 2025 and saying, do you guys know that this is where it started?
Yeah. So anyway, so we recorded the project, went back to the States, and did our Kenya gigs. And the Kenya gigs, I can't remember which ones we do at that time, but there's a very, very famous Parklands Baptist with DJ Moores and where we filled out Parklands Church, Baptist Church.
Wow.
And one of the most unique stories of that time was it was so many people who came for that gig that instead of Mathris having Parklands, Westlands, they changed their branding and they wrote Milele. So like basically like this Mathri will drop you at the Milele concert. like that. I remember that and I was just like, that's pretty cool, man.
That's insane.
So
that's insane.
So we had the Parklands Baptist concert, and you need to find out from DJ Moores whether that was the launch of the K Crew 31st night or whether that was like the takeoff of it. Like it was significant in the whole
ecosystem of Kubamba.
Of Kubamba and the 31st
TSO.
December night. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it's TSO.
Yeah. Totally sold out.
Yes. So I don't know if it was the first one or the second one or the one that did the J curve on that concept, right? So so then now we really came back home every year, because we're just like it was wonderful to do ministry in Kenya. There was we were building on the momentum and all of that. Then let me see where the story go after that. So then now we get to the point that you're saying. So in brief, life at this point is still going to school. Weekends is Milele, summers is Milele, right? And Milele is my job.
Yes.
And then enter Superfly mama. So
Yeah.
So my wife Wendy, I met her in the States. And at the time, Youth for Christ used to do these tours where they'd put together some musicians and then they go and do a fundraising tour for World Vision, for Youth for Christ in the States. Okay. Then on that tour, so she was part of that group. So she was part of a singing group in Nairobi called TTBC, Thrown Together by Christ. TTBC. So she was like last member. So she got saved, joined the group, and then this group ended up being the group that was they kind of like was selected as a group to do the Youth for Christ tour.
Wow.
Right? Then my best friend is Christian Mungai, aka Kingangi.
Aroro on that tour.
Aroro is on that tour.
Yeah, Aroro has given this story.
Yeah. So it's the girls are the singers. The band has Aroro, has Aroro of Aroro. that Aroro.
Aaron Rimbui.
And I'm the one who named him, by the way.
You thought you called him Aroro?
Yeah.
I saw Kanjii.
So
Did you know each other before this?
we knew loosely. Yeah, loosely.
Okay.
Loosely, because we had connected. We knew each other loosely. Not very well, but loosely.
Okay.
So they're on tour. Aroro is their keyboard player. Kongo Mbathi is their bass player. JJ Ojiambo is their guitar player. These are all the guys who became the band for Milele. And then I can't remember who their drummer was.
Ken? No.
Oh wait, was Kongo on that tour? I might be mistaken. I know JJ was there, and I know Aroro was there, and FJ Felix, who was that super producer, super musician who had met at Steve Owero's studio.
Okay.
Had gone to study in Berkeley.
Okay.
So he was a big part of Youth for Christ. I'm thinking it was Kongo Mbathi who was the bass player, but
don't worry, I'll insert Aroro's clip here.
Yeah.
There's, I think, a couple of interviews you've had. There's that big concert that Pete did called Beyond the Veil in 2000, and I was the keyboard player, and I was so happy. I was like, man. And the opening act, in fact, when I found out, I didn't know that they were showing up. I think they showed up and called Pete and said that
want to do a thing here.
Milele show up, and guess who is part of the Milele? Kaima. First of all, that was shocked me, because I knew Kaima he was going to do classical music. So Kaima, which is part of Milele, and then I was like, oh, this is the Kanjii that Tim was speaking about. And then there's now the other two guys, Hari and
Christian. And Maura.
Maura. Christian and Maura, because both of them are Christian. Hari, yeah. So I didn't know them, but I knew this. I knew Kaima, and I knew
you're the head of Kanjii.
Head of Kanjii. So they do this gig, they completely tear the place down, because they're this contemporary. Because we had not had that type of group before in terms of gospel music. Five Alive had kind of done it, but now they had gone into mainstream. So there was this gap for contemporary group, a group that is doing music that sounds like Dark Child, that the big R&B groups at that time were like Next, those which are the other groups?
There's Beyonce, Destiny's Child, was it?
Destiny's Child, Destiny's Child had come, So this is around 2000, guys like Drew Hill now are starting to fiddle out, and the guys that I'd grown up listening to. But now there's this new generation of guys. So now, Milele fit the bill. I'm like, they have got the dance moves, the production is heavy. I'm like, these guys. And I don't think when the album was the album yet out. I think they're coming to launch it in Kenya. Forever. Yeah. Yes.
Because G21.
I'm coming there to G21. So we do the concert, and it becomes such a success. So Pete is booked to play at the G21 concert. So the band. So now this is where I realized that it's always good to play with a heavyweight musician. Because while everyone else was in hostels, us guys were put in the bungalows as the artists. I'm like, hey. Us guys were even.
Me was one of the guys in hostels.
That was the first experience of being with a well-known artist and the treatment you get. Being a sideman and a touring sideman, you're like, oh, so you get this type of perks. You're like, oh, you're treated differently. You go to a hotel. Oh, this is what it means. Oh, this is how. Oh, okay, wow. And then guess who is also in that side of the hotel? Milele. I make a beeline to Kanjii. And so we start having a conversation. So I officially met Kanjii in 2000.
What? At G21?
Yeah, at G21. That's the first conversation we had. Like, hey, my name is Aaron. You met my bro, Nini. You're like, oh yeah, Kaimas told me about,
What?
That's when I met Kanjii. So in February, I get wind through JJ Ojiambo. He tells me that you're going on tour. because he had gone. He was scheduled to go for the tour in 2001. I told him, no, you guys have these guys, because his parents were affiliated. So I'm like, please don't. That story.
Don't play with my emotions.
Yeah,
please.
don't play with my. I'm not interested. He's like, I'm serious. I like sawa. So it was. What was I doing? I think I'd gone to St. Mary's. Oh yeah, I'd gone to St. Mary's, and those are the days of the Metro Shuttle. Remember the Metro Shuttle days? So, for those of you who don't know the Metro Shuttle was this bus by KBS where they lied to us it's for bougie people and hiked the fares and they used to play Kiss FM all the time. And so Youth for Christ show that opportunity. This guy is telling me that it's happening, and I'm like, don't play, don't mess me up. Oh, as time goes, I'm a Nairobi Baptist, and I meet Gowi. Gowi is the one who said the second time told me, unfortunately, you won't go. The first time was one of the directors of the Youth for Christ. Now the second time is like,
your boy, man.
Now we are boys. We've done the gig. So he's like, dude, do you have a passport? Like, no. Like, so do you want to go for Youth for Christ? I'm like, but I thought Chris Adwar is going, because at that time I knew Chris Adwar was going for YFC. So like, no, I think there's some situations happened, so you won't be able to travel, you know. So like, I was like, really? Like, yeah, if you get that passport like ASAP, so
You're going.
You're going. So I went and spoke to my dad. Like, I need a passport. Like,
yes,
tomorrow. Thank God for my dad and his connects. So I was able to get a passport real fast. And remember those days, a passport. Like,
yep.
So I was able to get a passport real fast. So he told me come to the YFC offices, and yeah, that's when I opened the door and I meet Wendy. Witty, find
Denya
Masiuko, and I find Sarah Oyungu. That's Atemi's sister.
Oh, that's
Sarah.
Yeah, no, I know she's Atemi's sister.
Yeah, she was in the group.
Who else was in the group?
So basically, what happened is that YFC used to have auditions, but because of the G21 and they were unable to do auditions, so they approached TTBC, the group. Like, can you do this tour for us?
What?
Yeah. So basically the three of them are in a group, you know. So they're like, sure, but you see, they were also working. They're like, yeah, we'll pay you. So whatever your whatever job you have, we can kind of sort that out in terms of tunes. So they're like, a year, we'll be away instead of a year touring the States. So why not? So it was a unique group in the sense that there were no auditions.
I get it.
Yeah. So I get in. I am put to speed about what's going on, the songs. So me and JJ, now that's when the programming element of keyboard happens. Remember what I talked about in St. Mary's?
Yes.
The O1W in Saints?
Yep.
I find that the keyboard they have is a Korg. It's a Trinity Korg. So that's when I delved in how to program. You guys, you give me a Korg right now, I'll make for you beats. So that's why I learned how to make beats.
It's just you and
JJ.
You're only two instrumentalists.
Yeah, we're only two instrumentalists.
And your keyboard.
And the keyboard. So JJ can play both bass and guitar. So that's covered. So now in terms of drums, I was going to program all the other elements. So even the album that was supposed to be, we were going to sell there, all the music there is me and JJ who did. The guitars and the program.
What studio did you record it in?
At the back of the van.
With you?
Yeah, so we were 6 of us, 7, because now FJ Mwangi.
Okay.
Which is another interesting story, because he was in Nairobi school.
Yes, in fact, you mentioned
I mentioned him. Yeah, and he was a mad organ player, you know. And so he joined the tour because he was in he was in Berkeley College of Music. Who was his roommate? Eric Onaina.
No way.
So anyway, so that's the band, and then now Wendy and all these girls were the singers, and Go Yodera was the other singer. And actually, Goyi was even the leader of the team. So Christian, who's my best friend then and now, aka Kingangi, aka Harrison Harry, was dating one of the girls on their tour. So me, I'm the wingman. So so we were roadies literally. Yeah? So they're like, hey, we're in Seattle. We'd get in the car, drive, I don't know how many gazillion hours to get to Seattle for Harry to go and hang out with Shore. But I would accompany him all the time. And then, when they're talking on the phone, I'd grab the phone from Christian, and I'm like, wait, are there any nice chicks on your tour? Ebu weka on the phone. So we started talking to Wendy on the phone. We hadn't met, but it was just friendly, just like Nini.
Yeah.
So then now, eventually now, Wendy and I get into a relationship.
So that's when you met her?
That's how I met her. It was through Harry.
So was it weird the first time you met?
It was super weird. It was super weird because I'd been talking a good game on the phone.
Talk.
In person, I was a mouse, man. I was like, I didn't want to deep and so anyways, yeah. So we get into a relationship, and with Wendy, it was so quick, and Christian and some of my friends had always told me, when you meet the person I'm a very intense friend, and they said, when you meet a chick who's as intense as you, that's gonna be your chick. That's a one for you. And like Wendy just matched me. Like we would have phone. She's a person I've talked to on the phone the most by far. But we've had a phone conversation that was maybe 10 hours.
What?
That one, you've looked for all the positions. You've laid on the carpet, you put your feet up. As in, back at the fort, yes. Your ear would overheat. So in like, I think 2 months from meeting her, I announced to my friends. I announced even to the Milele parents, not my parents, but the other guys' parents, because they were in the States. I was just like, hey, guys asking, what's up? I was like, yeah, I've met the chick I'm going to marry for sure. And, guys are like, what do you know about marriage? Because I'm 23 at this time, or 24. Yeah. But I'm like, for me, I'm sure. I'm like, yeah, this is the one.
Yeah. Let me ask, did you guys bump into Milele at this time?
I'm coming to that.
Okay, cool. Still
so we have done the entire tour, and then because not the entire tour, we've done half. We're halfway. This is around December. Now we are starting to do an extensive run in California. And so California, that's where the Milele guys are based. So they got wind that we are around. So me and Kanjii, that's where me and Kanjii now became friends. Because now they became like our KY. But then, like, I have this thing with Christian, where Kingangi.
Yeah.
Well, up till now we greet each other that way. Like, when are you going? Because the problem when I'm saying, I used to ask them, when are you going? Is they would come and just derail us. We're supposed to be practicing. These guys are looking for. They're talking to these Chileans. Like, you're doing exactly what so it was upsetting me because I'm like, we're not concentrating.
So this is where Kanjii found Mwendi, where Kanjii found his wife.
Absolutely. 100%.
This was the moment. So the outsiders were.
The outsiders, because I think they knew, like, us guys, now the outsiders are like, oh, this is a very fly Chile's here. Let's go in there.
That's crazy.
So that's when I met Milele, and then they started really hanging out, and of course now Kanjii they started serious friending, some good friending with Wendy, and then and of course now the rest is history.
Yeah.
And so the entire run in California, we're always every so often we'll be together.
That's so cool.
And that's when I started hanging out with Kanjii, and he started telling me what he wanted to do, what he's interested in, and that's when I learned about the Musicians Institute, where Kanjii was. And I told him that I'm interested in joining a college. So I told him that Berklee College of Music is a bit too expensive. So no, actually some students and former teachers of Berklee actually teach at the MI, Musicians Institute. Apply. When you go back home after the tour, apply. These are the whatever. And then he put me in touch via email to one of the deans or something. So she sent me a package when I came back, and I sent the papers, and I was accepted.
Yo.
At the Musicians Institute, yeah. It was a degree in music performance.
So Mwendi now goes back to Kenya because she was just there on tour. And at this point, I'm at a specialist music school in Dallas.
What?
So somehow over there, I moved to Dallas for like about a year and a half.
A year and a half?
Yeah, for a year and a half. My biggest turn moment, where it wasn't just like you're back home, it's like, dude, figure this thing out. So Mwendi now goes back to Kenya because she was just there on tour. And at this point, I'm at a specialist music school in Dallas.
What?
So somehow over there, I moved to Dallas for like about a year and a half.
A year and a half?
Yeah, for a year and a half. And small segue. So my cousin lived in Houston, so I moved to Houston for a little bit to stay with him. So I was doing this crazy commute from Houston to Dallas for my classes, which is stupid. So
like how long?
I can't remember, but it's hours.
Every day?
Every day on a bus.
What?
So I was just like, okay, this doesn't. Actually, what I would do is I would take the bus and then maybe spend like 3 days at a friend. I'd stay at Julia Sana's house or some friends I had there, and then I'd take the bus back. But it was completely unsustainable. So eventually I moved to Dallas, stayed with a friend who opened up his house to me. It wasn't really a house. It was a lodging. It was a place to lay my head
down. It was a couch.
Yeah.
Hey, it worked.
It was a floor. It was the floor, and that was some of the toughest time I've had in my life. Like it was, I remember. So Dallas has this weird phenomenon that happens where it doesn't snow, but it ices. Okay, so like schools can close because the roads are all iced. It's black ice, so guys don't go out.
Yeah.
So it gets cold like for snow, but it doesn't snow. So me, I'm not used to this cold. This guy's house, he didn't have heating because he's a student. He's a friend of mine that I met on the World Vision trip, by the way.
What?
He was our accompanist.
Yeah.
And he was doing his masters in jazz piano. So he's roughing it up. The digs didn't have heat. I remember my first night, and he said like you need a hot water bottle. So I slept with the hot water bottle. I didn't know hot water bottle you don't put near your face. So I'm breathing all that rubber.
Wow.
In the morning I woke up, my face was swollen. My nose was blocked. So it was hard life, sleeping on the floor.
When you had gone to Dallas because you were trying to go to this school?
Yeah, exactly. So it was a specialist school because I was like, again, me, I've always followed the path. I've not followed the path of education. I've always followed the path of learning. So if I want to learn it, then I'm willing to do whatever it takes to learn that thing. Wow. So I was like, I want to learn audio engineering and I want to learn production. And I also want to learn music business. So I found a school that literally specialized. It's called the Dallas Sound Lab. and it's an industry. It's literally a school for helping people launch into the industry. So I was like, oh man, I want to do that.
It's like practitioners are the ones teaching.
Exactly. Like literally, my production professor, is like, oh, here, oh, I've got a session next week. You're walking in the hallway, and it's like sessions they've had. You're like, dang, that's Paul McCartney. Dang, that's Kirk Franklin. Dang, that's Destiny's Child. Like, it was that kind of place, right?
Yeah.
So, and I was like, this is definitely where I want to now go and continue my school, not even school, but my learning.
Yeah. You were after the information for the end goal. That you had.
Yeah.
So by all means, I know where my end goal is.
Yep.
I just need these tools, literally.
Yeah. So for me, it's always that's how. And remember the story I told you about, if it died makes sense, I'm not willing to do it. Right? So for right or wrong, right? It might seem arrogant to some people, but for me, it's from a place of arrogance. It's from a place of efficiency. I'm like, that makes sense. It doesn't. I don't see how that adds up. And so there's no need of me spending energy there. Like, let me spend energy where I'll get the best return. Right? So my learning to this day, like, I'm literally, I can do so many varied things, and I keep on saying, like, even as a musician, like, for example, I'll tell you, I'm really good at financial modeling on Excel. I'll build you a financial model like this, and
on Excel.
I'm really good at it. Like I'll even meet an accountant and fix their model.
I love it.
But why? Because when I started my business, I was like, I need to understand how the money, and I need to understand forecasting, and I need.
Yes.
So I got a guy who was a CPA, who used to be in the office that I was in, and I just told him, I need to learn how this thing. Show me everything. Show me how to do the formulas. Show me this thing, and then I'd work on something. Say, hey, how do I do this? Oh, cool. Okay, cool. That's how you build that formula. Okay, great. Da 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 da, and that's how I learned it.
It's so funny that you've said that. We're in Egypt.
Yeah.
And we're in Egypt. So at the end of every episode, you guys have been seeing an experience happening.
Yeah.
And that is part of, we'll get to that conversation a bit later. But then when we were doing the Zoom calls, and you were explaining to the leaders, like, your plans for here, and given, it was on Excel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was. So I'm like, so I've acquired my hunger is for knowledge, but not for necessarily for knowledge's sake. It's about me improving something that I don't have, that I feel I need.
But here's the thing. You know where it is you want to go.
Yeah.
I think that's such a critical aspect, that people don't just copy you for your sake.
Yeah.
Because in an essence, it can be kichwa ngumu.
Yeah.
For you, it's like you're so, that you have the vision. You're extremely visionary.
Yeah.
So even as you're saying these things don't make sense, it's according to the path where you know your destination.
Correct.
You get what I mean?
Correct.
So for people who are not visionaries, this per se won't work for them.
It won't. Yeah, it won't.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it's a whole thing of so it's, so I've something that I'm going for, and I'm going for with everything that I have, and along the way, I'll meet obstacles, or I'll find information, like a gap in my information base, right? For example, I ran an advertising company. I don't have any advertising background, but my wife does, and I keep on telling her, she taught me everything about marketing, right? So, or another example is a while ago, I was very curious about how the world it's almost like the kings of the music industry were DJs.
Mm.
And I got curious about that world, right? And so what did I do? I bought DJ decks, and I'm like, and it wasn't for anything. I'm not trying to become a DJ.
Yes.
I'm just like, I need to understand how they think.
Mm.
And that's when weirdly I found the connection. I said DJs and worship leaders are the same animal. Same animal.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they use the best songs to give their people an experience.
That thing that you were saying earlier
Yeah.
about you are able to connect the weirdest of things together.
Exactly. A DJ is a worship leader.
That's insane.
And a worship leader is a DJ.
Mm,
They're the same thing. Literally the same thing.
You know, when you say it now, I'm like, yes, but it is.
Yeah.
It's just in different scenarios.
Yeah.
One is in the club, one is
Yeah.
in the church.
Yeah.
Or one is in a different
Yeah.
venue.
And that's why now you've seen so anyone who say follows, Mavuno Church, Chapel, and there's a rise of the DJ worship leader, which is a guy who just literally he comes and hypes people into worship. And all he's doing is playing the songs. But it's not that different from a guy standing with a guitar and he's hyping you and leading you and helping you get to a place of surrender and a place of worship, So same thing.
That's crazy.
Anyway, so my pursuit at this point, I was like, man, I really wanted to understand music business. And I wanted to understand and lock in on production and creating music.
Maybe you haven't articulated it. What's the end goal? Because you're in this Milele thing.
Yeah.
You don't sound... you sound content with Milele, but you sound like there's more ambition.
Yeah.
Because why are you learning these things? Do you want to do these things in Milele? I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah. So I think it's both. I think one is the skill was definitely, everything I was learning was super useful. And at this point by there is when the Milele gigs now became international.
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of just how we packaged the experience, right? Because now I'd learned so much about sound design and Kaima definitely was working with the band and all of that. We were understanding how to even small things like adding sound effects into a show experience and stuff like that. So there was definitely a direct leveling up of Milele because of these additional skills. But I think in me, it wasn't so that I was going for something, but I think as I was doing this thing, something was forming in me.
Okay.
Right? And was like, oh man, I can put together shows. And Milele was my guinea pig.
Oh, I get it.
Right? And so it wasn't driven by this lofty, that's where I'm going, so I need to, which is what I was telling you, I'm super strategic, but a lot of the things that have happened in my life haven't been strategic. It hasn't happened because of strategy. It's happened because of curiosity, of that's interesting. Let me check that out. Or like a longing. I'm like, oh man, I really need to learn music business. I feel like, if I could understand how to read a contract, or if I could understand, I think that's just going to be useful.
Kanjii, this is 2002, 2003. There's no one in Kenya on this thinking. You get what I mean?
Yeah, at least that I know of. Yeah. Well, it takes, excuse me, it takes you to be able to see that. Because for me, that's not my mindset in any time. My mindset is just so I've got something that's kind of guided my thinking throughout my life, and I've learned it in hindsight, right? And I think you'll hear me say that a lot, right? I never want people to look at my life and be like, oh man, that strategy was wild. I'm a child of God. I have had strategy, don't get it wrong. And the things I've wanted to do and goals I've set and whatnot. But so much of it is God interjecting and God God leading me a certain way, or and stuff like that. So yeah, so this, I think this was one of those things where it was like, I want to level up who I am as a musician, and what I feel like. I mean, I've been working on my chops, singing and all of that, but I feel like I'm limited. And so what do I need to learn? I need to be able to mix a record. I need to be able to mix at a live event. I need to understand how to master. I need to understand how to produce. I need to understand the business side of music.
Wow.
And what's an A&R person? What do they do? What's the difference between a producer and executive producer? Like that stuff for me now becomes important to me, because I feel like I'm lacking. That's something that I'm lacking.
I get it.
That is stopping me from becoming the best I can be here.
And this last one, I know I'm dwelling a lot here, but then you're saying things that I'm aware. I don't just want to pass them because they've become your norm.
Yeah.
Like you said, you are becoming international. What does that mean? Because the Milele, so far we've been talking about the international version, it means you're coming back home to Kenya and maybe UG.
Yeah.
But now you're saying this group was going beyond even into other countries.
No, not even so much so. Yes, but no. No, because I think international for me wasn't so much so about
travel,
borders, but more about your mindset. Like, can this show experience live on any stage in the world?
Wow.
Right? So when I'm talking about international, that's what I mean. What I'm saying is that like, can it live anywhere? Is it just for an American church? Or can you take this show and put it in a stadium in Europe, at a Europe festival?
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
So you're already thinking about getting there before you've gotten there.
Oh, for
and you're
sure.
preparing to get there.
For sure.
To ensure that even on a local version, you're giving them a show quality that is also can be put on any global stage.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. So so now, dang, you asked how I got back to Kenya. That's literally wild that it's taken me this long to get to that, to answer that question.
Now that's CTA.
Yeah. So now, so now I've moved schools. I'm now in the Dallas Sound Lab, and 9/11 has happened, and now this is where my story gets, like, adds some more drama, right? So Wendy goes, my wife goes, but my girlfriend at the time, she's not even my fiance, she goes back to Kenya, and I'm deeply in love, and this is a girl I'm gonna marry, and so
she had just come for 3 months.
No, she had come for a year. It was a whole year.
Oh, it's a whole year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So which is why we both believe in gap years, because I had World Vision and she had Youth for Christ, by the way. Anyway, so she comes back home, and but so I planned a trip to just go and visit her, and Christian and I think Christian and I went to visit. It was just the two of us. So we went to visit, and hung out, got to meet her people, and then now it's time to go back to the States, back to Dallas. I was also renewing my visa, because my visa had expired. So
the 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So renewed my visa, get on a plane, head out, go to Dallas. When I get to Dallas, I'm at immigration, and then the guy says, "Hey, you actually have the wrong visa." I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, "Yeah, this visa they gave you, you're going to this type of school which needs this type of visa." So and I did that when I didn't even know there were different student visas. So he's like, I was like, "Man, that's a visa the embassy gave me." He's like, "I'm sorry, man, it's a wrong visa." So he told me you have two options. One, we can deport you, or two, you can withdraw your application to enter into the States and head back home. I said, I'll take option 2. I'll take option 2.
Real quick.
Yeah. So whatever, sent back. I go back to Kenya. Go back to Kenya. I'm discombobulated, but not too much. I mean, so go back to the embassy, meet the same guy and who gave me the visa. He's like, oh man, I'm so sorry.
Like, you guy, you've got me like a
of
couple of $100,000 here.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. They give me the right visa. Boom. Takes maybe another week to get my ticket done. Because now I'm looking for money now, because I used my money to go and come back and I have to go again.
Okay.
I remember my mom coming through for me. She's like, hey, okay, so here's some tunes for your ticket. I was like, oh, thank God. So I flew back. I arrived in Dallas, second time. And when I get there...
Same guy.
No, not the same guy. Another guy. Oh, wait. My story is confused. My first port of entry was like, I think LA. And then the second time, because I think I was going to do some things with Milele and then head to Dallas. But then now the second time, I'm just going straight to Dallas. So go to Dallas. I arrive Dallas. The guy's like, hey, it looks over here that you withdrew your application. What happened? I said, man, they gave me the wrong visa. It's like, okay. The guy pauses. He's like, oh, man. Come with me. I go secondary inspection. I'm like, I've been here before. So when I go there, then they're like, I think they even end up calling the school. And they're like, hey, we're just trying to confirm something. So I'm like, hey, what's happening? And they come back and says, hey, after 9/11, all schools, because the student thing was a part of how those terrorists checked in.
Okay.
They created new rules, and even for the schools. So he said, unfortunately, your school missed the deadline to comply to one of those rules. So they can't accept foreign students.
Oh my God.
At this point. I'm calling my school, they're like, oh man, we're sorry. So they said, you have two options. we can deport you, or you can withdraw your application to enter America.
Wow.
I'll take option 2. This is the second time in 4 weeks that I'm being returned back home.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
So my flight back home.
And now you're not coming.
I'm discombobulated. Yeah.
And now they've said the problem is not you.
Yeah.
It's a school.
It's a school.
And the school has missed the deadline.
Yeah. But then when I came back.
So on your flight back,
obviously now I'm so confused. I'm like, what does this mean? What does this mean? So I came back home. Now I'm not a summer bunny anymore.
And where do you go? Do you go to your folks?
So no, I never went back to my folks' house after I left. I went to my cousin brother, John.
Oh, okay.
John's house, and I lived with him. And at that point, I start thinking, and I'm like, I don't think I want to try again. I think maybe there's something happening here that I need to pay attention to. And I don't know if I'm processing it as clearly as I'm saying right now, but that's the overall conclusion, right? And I remember it was in a matatu headed from... Because before that, I was taking taxis. I had some money dollars. So now I'm in a Matri going from... I was in Upper Hill and I'm heading to Haderi Road, which is 46. route in Nairobi. So I'm in a matatu. I'm heading to John's house, Johnny's house, and I'm in the back. And those are the days guys used to be packed like sardines. And I remember just distinctly going like, I think I'm back in Kenya, like. And that was a moment where my mind just shifted. I was like, okay, cool, you're back home. Like, okay, let's figure this thing out.
Wow.
And that was an important turning point for me. I had a second turning point, which was, I'm back. and I remember, so now, and I think maybe, well, no, that one was okay, I'm back in Kenya now, right? And then shortly after, was now I'm now in brokenness now, right? I don't have money, I'm trying to figure out life, and I don't ask anyone for money. I just need to figure this thing out. So I remember I used to go to my brother-in-law's office in Upper Hill, just because I needed a place to go. I didn't want to be in the house.
Yeah.
So I just go chill at his office, hang.
That's sharp though.
Yeah.
Because it'd be in your thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. Go and hang at his office. And at his office, by there, that's where I learned Excel. From his CPA who worked there. And anyway, so now it's time to go home, and I'm walking home because I don't have money for bus fare, so I'm walking home. I didn't mind the walk. It's a long walk, but it's not a bad walk, and there are many people walking, so it's all good. You guys get to Yaya Center, it starts raining, but it's raining like someone upset the rain system, like someone to Canada that rain system. It's raining cats and dogs. It was so wild, Bana. So you know that when you run for cover, but then at some point you're like, I'm drenched. I'm drenched. So I was like, let me just continue walking.
Wow.
So I just continue walking, and then I just start crying.
Wow.
But it's a woe is me. It's just a woe is me cry. Yeah? And I'm walking and it's
not because you're wet.
Yeah. Full R&B song, but full R&B song.
At least here my tears will be covered.
Exactly. Hey, that's actually the theme of the song. So and that was my biggest turn moment, where it wasn't just like you're back home. It's like, dude, figure this thing out.
Wow.
And so I got back, and shortly after I started Kijiji.
Okay. Let's take a break right there, peeps. We are coming back. Well, first of all, how old are you at this time?
So I'm 20, maybe 23.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be back after this.
Yeah. I see it as God who closed the door. And Kijiji doesn't happen.
How do you come back?
Yeah. My worship leading journey with Mavuno doesn't happen.
Wow.
All the things that happened as a result.
A star doesn't happen.
Yeah, all the things that happen as a result of me coming back home don't happen.
That is so deep.
Yeah. Hey, I was not ready to do CTA.
Why?
Now I am.
Yeah. The story continues, the journey continues. The insight continues. It's so funny. All these years knowing you, I knew there was like a thing where you came back.
Yeah. But you didn't fully.
But I didn't understand it
Yeah.
fully.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's deep.
Okay.
This is a very interesting part of your, actually pivotal.
Pivotal. So I'm staying at my brother John's house, cousin brother.
Context, what year is this?
Dude, I'm so bad with the years.
Okay.
But must be
2 or 3?
yeah, maybe yeah, about 2 or 3, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thereabouts. But I'm really bad with the years.
Okay.
Aaron Rimbui will text you and tell you all the wrong dates I said. He's the keeper of dates. Me, I'm like, he'll be like, no, it was March 14th, 2003, my guy. I'm like, dude, I don't even know what decade it was. Like, I'll be glad if I catch the right decade. I'm like, I think it was the 2000s. Anyway, so I'm living with my I've just moved back from the US in a way that I didn't plan. It was a forced move back.
Yeah.
My stuff is in the state,
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've literally said goodbye now emotionally. I'd said bye mentally. That rain made me say goodbye emotionally, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool, man. Like this is where you are. Let's make this happen. My life looks like this at this point, right? I'm going to my bro-in-law's house office, and I spend my days there, but I'm absorbing business. He's the best businessman I know. So I'm absorbing business every day. That's my business education.
Wow.
I'm absorbing business. I'm absorbing business. Always been creative, and I'd always been entrepreneurial. I mean, we didn't say this even in my backstory, but like, at 15, how old was I? 15, for one. I stopped asking my dad for money because it was always such a big deal asking for money. And I always felt like, man, I'm really sumboying you asking you for money. So I went and got a job at 15.
Wow.
And I worked as a puppeteer. I worked for Bubujika. I was a Bubujika puppet show guy, doing birthday parties, wearing that clown outfit. I learned how to do hand puppets and whatnot. Yeah, man. So, and to the point where I used to give my sisters pocket money.
Wow.
As a 15-year-old, right? The other entrepreneur. So I just want to give a little bit of the entrepreneurial journey, so that you understand why business was interesting to me. So that's at 15. When I clear high school, as I'm doing this music thing and all of that. No. It's before high school. Before high school ended. So during school holidays, I found we lived in an estate in Kilimani where there was just a lot of kids. So me, I observed all of these kids and them just being up to no good during school holidays. And I was like, I think there's an opportunity here. So I started a kids holiday club in my estate.
No way.
And I made flyers, took to every house that had kids. I was like, hey, kids holiday club, here's the thing. They're gonna do music. They're gonna do. We're gonna help them with their homework, their holiday homework. Then we're going to. Then my sis, I employed my sis Wanji because she could drive.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna peleka them to public service club to go swim.
Wow.
So it was a whole package for the day for your kids. And I think it was 500 bob a day or whatever it was. I can't remember what it was. And we worked out the numbers, etc. And I got kids to sign up. And I had a full holiday club happening in our digs. So I was always entrepreneurial. When I went to the States and I was in school, so I had my campus safety job for a little bit, and then Milele was my other thing. But then I also started a music school. In the States? In the States. It was called Shujaa Music School. And I was just taking vocal students.
Okay.
and you know, I take them and all of this. So my mind was always wired entrepreneurially. Like I was always interested in finding a problem and creating value, a value solution for it. So being in this space with my bro-in-law, who's a phenomenal businessman, was I was in heaven, because every day I was coming. I was not doing anything. I was just roaming, but it wasn't random roaming.
Yeah.
It was like, what do you do? Okay, show me what you do.
I'm accountant.
Yeah.
CPA.
Show me what you do. Like, what? You can actually do that? There's a thing that does that. Okay, you have to show me. Show me how. Show me how to do this.
That's such a good
Show me how to do whatever. And so curiosity has always been a big thing for me. I'm like, this guy. Oh, you guy who does coding. What in the world is that? What is that? Tell me. Or you're the guy who does this. So I've always been curious, and I'm always okay asking. Yeah, I'm okay not knowing, and I'm very okay asking, right? So the entrepreneurial bug is being fed.
Yep.
Right? It's being fed. Because before that, I was just a solo operator. Everything I did was a solopreneur, with the exception of that thing I did with my sis. But it was still
And this space, it's not music. It's not music and entertainment.
It's not music. It's not music at all.
Okay.
So anyway, so I had my big aha moment walking Yaya Center, outside Yaya Center, walking in the rain.
From Upper Hill.
Yeah.
Hey bro, if it's to be a good
one. walking, and I think for me it's finally my release moment where I'm like, okay, cool, I'm here.
But then just sideline. That's like the push on video. Eh?
It is. I was not dancing in that rain, bro. It was one of these, so anyway, so at this point, my brother-in-law, and this is a really interesting story. I didn't name Kijiji.
Huh?
It wasn't. My brother-in-law is the one who gave it the name Kijiji, and it was him and a friend of his who thought there was an opportunity in music distribution, and quickly found they didn't want to do it. Okay, so I was like, let me do that. Let me do that. So Kijiji Records started as a music distribution company, because at that time CDs was the game, and the problem with the music industry was there were only like very few outlets, right? So my concept was, because it was like you could go to this music bookstore, music/bookstore, and you could go here and you could go there, and those are the only places you could get CDs.
Like a Kasanga. Yeah,
exactly. So I was like, man, let's democratize this. Let's make CDs available in places, and so we started. So I was like, now I want to do this. I really want to do this. And my first thing was, okay, cool, man. I need to set up an office. Negotiated with my bro-in-law. He gave me a room downstairs. And I was like, okay, I need furniture. He said, and then somewhere around this point, a kid walks in whose auntie is like, hey, she saw me in the parking lot. And she's like, yeah, you're the musician. She's like, hey, my nephew really wants to do music. Can you meet with him? I was like, sure. So I got to meet him, and that was my first intern, a guy called Jege.
Jege! That's how Jege ended up joining.
That's how Jege joined.
That story is so epic.
So that was my first intern. And then another guy also somehow, I'm not too sure how, also walked in and he's like, yo, man, I love your music, da 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 da. I've just graduated from USIU. I was like, yeah, sure, man. I don't have money, but if you want to roll with me, let's roll. And so I had two like team members. Right?
Who's the other guy?
The other guy was called Stan. So those were employees 001 and 002 of Kijiji. And this time, no money, right?
Yes.
I'm not starting this with money.
Yeah.
So then now I started out first. The first thing was to figure out getting rights to distribute people's music, right? So Ogopa DJs was the biggest music creator at the time. So Ogopa, so my bro-in-law and his partner had already begun a relationship with Ogopa. So,
Oh, wow.
So that one I just kind of took over. And the Ogopa deal was scary, man, because they were so powerful. They were the music powerhouse.
So this is the time when Ogopa is everywhere.
Oh, this is Ogopa, man.
Ogopa era.
Yeah. So in Ogopa, so you have got Ogopa 1, Ogopa 2, you've got Isa, you have
Nameless.
Nameless.
On Fire. Yeah.
On Fire came a bit later, if I'm not wrong. When did On Fire?
Yeah, it came after. It came after.
It came after Isa.
It definitely came after Isa. Yes.
Album
Yes.
was, so I remember Ogopa 1, Ogopa 2, Isa, and then that's when they had a split in Ogopa, and Badman Camp
Yes.
formed, and Badman Camp now had Mr. Googs, Vinnie Banton. There are some guys who broke off.
Yes.
I had Red Sun as well. Then now I went to I think it was Blue Zebra now, which is Ted Josiah.
Yeah.
Necessary Noise. Just say, what's your catalog?
Yes.
Let me distribute your catalog for you. Here are my terms. Here's what I'm gonna pay. Here's my strategy. So I got those.
So wait. In this distribution,
Yeah.
they're giving you masters. Are you duplicating?
No. They're giving me actual CDs.
Okay.
Yeah, they're giving me actual CDs.
Okay. So they did the production.
Yeah, they did the
and
production.
the duplication.
Exactly.
Okay.
So they're giving me CDs. So we take stock, and then now we either return your stock or we sell your stock. And let me see who else of note. Then I went to Samawati.
Susan Gashukia.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah, exactly. Got what was that group called? A
it's-
beautiful woman.
Oh, for real?
What were they called? Anyway, they're there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Richie's gonna do the research. And then
You didn't get Nairobism. You didn't get Doobies from Samawati.
or I don't know if that was out yet. I remember getting Joe Menes. Joe
Menes brothers.
Joe Menes. Yeah, I remember we got Joe Menes.
What?
I can't remember who else from Samawati. So I was just going to the main production houses, going with my pitch, telling them what I'm doing, and give me the opportunity to sell your music.
So you've shut down Kanjii the artist.
Ish.
And these guys are not looking and being like, but you're Kanjii.
Yeah. I've not shut down Kanjii the artist, but Kanjii the artist is allowing me to get into.
Yeah,
the door,
I get it. You're
number one,
using Kanjii the
right?
artist.
Yeah. So, but I'm not at writing and
You're not after
trying to release my songs or
I get
whatever.
it.
I'm not at that point. I'm not doing that, right? Then little backstory, because you talked about Kanjii the artist. My first recorded, and I think we kind of released it song, was in 97, and it was produced by Gabriel Omondi and featured the one and only Wahu Kagui. And MCLC, they were rapping. They were rappers then.
That's a song. I've never had that job.
I can't even remember it.
That's insane.
Wahu denied this story.
You recorded a song with MCLC
MCLC and Wahoo.
and Wahoo.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Anyway, okay, so
wait.
so moving forward now to the whatever. So
Yeah, but where I'm hearing you, where the music that you're getting,
yeah.
where you distributing it to.
Yeah, so now this was the genius, or at least the I thought it was genius, right? And even today I was like, it was a pretty cool idea. So our thought was, instead of people going to get their music, what if we took the music to the people?
Brilliant.
Right? So my places were places that people frequent. So salons, barbershops, petrol station, petrol station forecourt, you know, where you pay you pay for your whatever you bought in the petrol station.
Yeah.
Supermarkets, even some smaller shops, like almost kiosk-like shops. And we created this guy, we called him the Kijiji Man. Kijiji Man was a wrought iron man with 10 arms, right?
Yes.
And each arm held a CD.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was our point of sale thing. So we had these things now. So when we came to now, so there were two deals I was doing. One, I was doing a deal with the producers, the record labels.
How much you're going to give them per album?
Exactly, and then now I was doing a deal with the retailer.
Yeah.
Right.
So what's when your expenses and any what are you buying? What are you selling for? Around.
I can't remember. CDs those time I think were like 500 bob a CD or something like that. So maybe I'd get it at 200 or 250.
Oh, nice.
And then so we'd still try and sell them at 500 because that's what they were used to buying them at, right?
Okay.
And then maybe as guess our cut was 150, the retailer was 100. I can't remember the math. But anyway, yeah, everyone made a little bit. And then we pushed it. But we tried to go everywhere. Even gyms, like work at that Kijiji Man there, and when you're checking out of the gym, the CDs would be there. You know, and you can.
So did you produce many Kijiji Mans and then take them to different places?
Exactly.
Okay.
Made in Dagoretti Corner. So I think it was a solid concept. So that was the first iteration of Kijiji Records. We were a distribution company selling CDs to people. All right. And then I can't remember now. I'm really bad with timelines, so I can tell you what happens next. I can't tell you whether this took a year, but at some point I was just like, and so we don't have any capital, right? So meaning if we have any expenses,
it's on you.
It's on me, or we have to use our record label's money and be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna pay you later. Hey boss, that thing was crazy. The guy, Ogopa had a guy called Banda.
Yes.
Banda was one scary dude. And let me tell you, it's not once I've gone out of the back door when I saw him coming through the front door. Kanjii, are you cool? Yeah, man. I'm like, hey, Banda, I can't deal with you now because I don't have your money right now.
That is hilarious.
So anyway, so at this time now I start applying my business, music business kind of knowledge, and I realized very quickly, it was pretty quick. I realized that hey, for this business to happen, one of maybe two things needed to happen. So one, we needed to go so broad and wide with our distribution, that 100 bob or whatever, that margin that we made makes sense for our business, right? Or two, we needed to increase our margin, right? So that's when I was like, man, okay, increasing our margin means
we can't go broad.
Yeah. Well, no. Increase our margin means, to me, the conclusion was like, I need my own artist. Right?
Oh, I get what you mean.
Yeah, I need my own artist. So, drafted a contract pitched to Mr. Googs
What?
and signed him.
What?
So Mr. Googs was my first signing.
You learn things every day.
Yeah, Mr. Googs. Hey, by the way, we are still in the record arrangement, Mr. Googs.
So wait, let me ask you. What in this record distribution were the CDs selling?
CDs were selling.
Was
They
the
were
concept
selling.
was the
The concept was working.
Okay, yes.
It just needed to work at
Scale.
100x.
Yes, at scale.
Yeah.
And in terms of working in terms of people buying, was it also working in terms of revenue collection? Were the
It was
distribution
working.
points paying you?
Guys were paying me, and we kept a really good book with everyone where we'd be like, hey, we gave you this many Kijiji man, we give you this many CDs.
Yes.
So you come and you do a stock taking. How many CDs do you have left?
Yes. Wow.
That's how much you owe us.
So problem was just Kerea, you.
Yeah. No.
And capital.
The problem was capital and scale and
Scalability.
You had to be able to be in 1,000 places.
I get it.
For this to make sense.
Because even just the expense of you have to go from here to here to
Yeah.
here to here to collect the money.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah. So I think for me, I was just like, okay, cool. It's either we scale or we increase our margin, we increase how much we're making per CD. So then the idea then came like, if I have my own artist, I can make the distribution cut and I can make the record labels cut as well.
Wow. The music business that you've learned in Dallas is kicking in.
Exactly. So that's when I was adventurous. I was like, I'm gonna sign an artist, and we're gonna figure out how to do an album for them. So signed Mr. Googs. Red Sun's deal, by the way, was directly with his people. I think he had already left Ogopa at that point. Anyway, so signed Mr. Googs, and trying out to figure out, okay, cool. Now I've signed a guy. What does this mean? And we never got to the studio with Mr. Googs, and I don't know. I can't remember why. Maybe something was happening in his life. I can't remember what it was. But that planted a seed in my head.
Wow.
Okay. So then I was like, okay, cool. I need a product that I own. That's my own. And I looked at one of the places that was of interest to me, because where we were right next to Flex Gym, which was in Upper Hill, right?
I get it.
So remind me to tell you about getting furniture into Kijiji, because that's a really cool suffer story.
The Kijiji downstairs, the office,
Yes.
the first office.
Yes.
In Upper Hill.
Yes. So anyway, I was on
The gym, Flex Gym.
Yeah, so Flex Gym. So I'd go and check out the gym, I think I even maybe went in and they were doing this, they'd play this music and then they had these step classes or whatever, these aerobics classes. And I just started thinking, I was like, who supplies these guys with music? Where do they get their music
crazy.
from? And I was like, so at that point I was like, man, what if I created a product that's been specifically made for them? So I started doing a research. What BPMs do you guys, how do you guys do this? How do you
per
guys,
minute. How fast is a song?
how fast does a song need to be for this type of class? So I did the research and I understood, okay, cool, this is how this thing works. And then I came up with my first product. So my first product was called Tizika.
That's insane.
And Tizika was, and then I was like, man, guys are they're shouting, whatever. I was like, what's nostalgic for people? Because all of these guys are corporate people with the money to pay for a gym membership, right? So I was like, what's nostalgic for these guys? In my opinion, was cheer songs, like cheer songs we sang in high school. So most, mama milka, bonyo, those type of songs, teruburu, I was like, I'm going to create a project that uses cheer songs for exercise.
You guys, you're thinking is so brilliant. I'm actually, my guy, I've around you. It's so brilliant.
Yeah, so we did that. So we created this product.
So it was, when you say it's a product, it's a CD.
It's an album, yeah.
Where do you record?
So we record. So I don't have a studio at this point. So we go to the guy who was my guy at this point was Kasanga, weirdly. So Kasanga, because Steve Owero at some point had moved his studio into the Kasanga kind of space.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, oh man, let me go to that studio. And there was a young producer working in that studio. That producer was called Gideon Kimanzi.
He can't make this thing up.
He can't make this stuff up. So Giddy was training under. So Giddy, the reason Giddy, I call him the fastest producer in Kenya.
Yeah.
He got his chops recording the Kasanga choirs.
Yes.
Right? And there it was just like.
When we were setting up the price list, there was something that was called direct recording. I see. What is this direct recording? So no, this is a recording where you record straight onto the DAT. DAT is the digital audio tape, which is what used to hold masters. So, come again? Yes, you record straight into DAT. What do you mean? You mix as you go. Hakuna ati you record and then mix and then master, then no. So one, the musicians have to be on point. They have to sing on key.
There's no take two.
There's no, I was a little flat to take a two auto-tune. That rubbish was not there. But yeah, no, just auto-tune, it should be fine. Because what you're singing is what is ending up as you sang it, not at it edited with none of that. The musicians have to be.
Oh, this is live.
It's not. There's live, then there's direct recording.
No, what I mean when I said they're coming there with musicians,
Yes.
it's not a T.
Is most times is programmed drums, so the beats are going. So guitar inaingia, bass inaingia, keys zinaingia, lead anaingia, BGVs wanaingia, stereo feed.
Here, pewa tape after you finish.
Now ours was not so bad. Hapo ni fanya DAT, then from the DAT do the master on the tape, so they're able to do compression and EQ, bring it to tape. I'm like, my God, this is murder. The amount of consent. You can't let, if someone is singing a little higher than others, you can't say, I'll correct that when I'm mixing. It has, so your hands on the board. Ikienda nayo. There's no passive recording where, then you're chatting here, WhatsApp. No such thing. You're there.
You know everything. This knob is a keyboard.
This is during interludes here. Oh, it's the keys that is going. So bring up the keys. Unatawala ikimaliza interlude, rudisha. Ni guitar inachukua. Go with it. So that was hard.
Because are you saying somebody would come in the morning and at lunchtime, if they were recording their 2 songs, you're giving them their master?
What do you mean 2 songs? Album. Record it in the morning. No, that is direct recording. I thought I was having it bad. So getting to talk to Lee is telling me, Kitty, you're having it very easy. So what do you mean? And these kisses who come to the studio, wanakuja wakifika hivi, wameenda studio, wamepiga picha imetolewa, album imeprintiwa covers.
Yes.
They've been printed with the song order. Huko wakitoka huko, wanakuja wanaingia studio, wanachapa recording hivi, wakimaliza kuimba hivi, direct recording. Patia master straight to duplication, shikanisha na the labels that were made, going back to Kisii in the evening, amefunga album. And not once, not twice, not 3 times.
And not one artist.
I was like, oh, so me that I have opportunity to put you in the DAT, then
Ikiwa beat.
You're only luxury. You should be very grateful.
You know, so
Real
anyway,
time,
yeah.
real to real.
Yeah, so Kasanga, they gave me a deal for come in the evening when the choirs have gone home. So I was like, no problem. So
Now you paying them, or it's relationship?
I'm paying Gidi now.
Okay.
But it was very inexpensive.
Yeah.
So we go. My squad is Jege, is Stan, who wanted to be a musician. Mwendi is my BGV. And it's in-house. It's family only, man. And we created and we built it that way, where the BPMs, the songs join, and the BPMs grow as the way the guy had told me, the way the my
Yes.
research had shown me. So it was created for that.
That is crazy.
Like
how many songs on that? Or is it one long song?
It was basically there were actual tracks, but they were joined. They were right, because you don't want the music to stop.
Yes.
Because then they would use like these mixes,
Yeah.
right? So and the BPMs
Increase. Wow.
It keeps on increasing, and it started at whatever the warm-up BPM was,
All the way
to the highest BPM, and then the cool down. Then the cool down BPM at the
That
end.
product was incredible.
And it was the length of the class.
Yes,
So
I get
whatever, 50 minutes, whatever the class is, right? So we created that.
Where do you do production? Where do you do duplication? Because what's your aim? Your intention is to the people who come to the gym to buy this, as well as the gym to use this.
Exactly.
Okay.
So so we so now it's time we create the album, and I always find like creation of things is not difficult, selling things is difficult, right? And at least that's been my story. So we create the album. We have so much fun in the studio. It was such a good time. And we create the project, and now it's time to sell, okay? And people bought them.
Where are you selling? You're going to the gyms?
We're going to the gyms, but now we have to map out all the gyms in Nairobi. We have to find out where the gyms are, and then we realized something very quickly. You couldn't do until now from this. Now let me take a mat and go to that gym.
Too late. Guys have gone.
When you reach Westie, you now walk. All of Westie. And you're going this gym, next gym, next gym, next gym, next gym, next gym, next gym. That's when Jege left us.
He should have stayed though.
Yeah. No, he comes back. Jege has had 3 runs in Kijiji. And I remember because this kid, his whole dream was to become an Ogopa artist. I'm sure and so he dressed the part, Timberland, clean,
to walk to gyms.
Walking in gyms, going to flog CDs, and some places you'd go and find guys like, no, we're not, no. I'm like, wait, let me tell you what it is.
Yeah.
When you hear what it is,
you'll get excited.
And then I understood now, it's not just the gyms I need to talk to. I actually need to get the actual instructors of the classes.
Wow.
Because the gym, maybe they want to buy it for him.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have to now talk to the guy himself.
Hey, you're hustling.
One of my best customers ended up becoming a really good friend of mine, was a manager for the gym at Stanley.
Wow.
He's called Japheth, yeah. And he ended up becoming like even a friend, because the guy was like, this is crazy. How many can I buy? And he was one of the guys who really encouraged me on that. Like, okay, cool. I think you have a pretty cool product. But that product came to save me a bit later on. And it's a thing that I was telling you. Like, I was strategic about gyms, but God was being strategic about something totally different.
Yeah.
And the story will shock you. But I want to get there sequentially.
Okay.
So,
But then now, furniture.
oh yeah, so when the thought was like, okay, cool, man, like let me formalize this. I want to be coming to an office and working. So my bro-in-law gave me a computer, like just a beat up computer. I'm like, okay, cool. It has Excel, it has Word. Me, I'm locked in. I'm ready for this thing. But watching them also helped me professionalize myself. Just watching how they operated, I was like, okay. There's a way that you need to operate in the business world, right? There's a way you need to speak, and all of that. So that was my business school. Being in that office for however long I was in that office. So the guy says, I know what you can use. So there were some plastic chairs. Those are your chairs. The guy said, he had a barber shop in near Tea Room, like deep in the city. And he's like, you go to the barber shop, and then I have these doors, right? Go take the doors, and then there's some logs as well that have already been, and then now the logs are there. Are the
legs.
Yeah. The logs are the legs. The table is the door is the table. Okay. So I take my Ogopa artist, Jege, take him to town. And then now we have to go and find them Kokoteni.
Yeah.
So get them Kokoteni. And now see, we have to walk, because I'm like, this guy, I don't know if he's going to get my stuff.
Yeah.
I have to walk with you.
Yeah.
So I walk with this guy through town.
To Upper Hill.
Uhuru Park. Let me tell you, boss, at some point I realized Jege, my boy, was about 100 meters ahead of us.
He
didn't want to be associated.
Ogopa artist, but he's not
Like,
about to be
hey, Jege, man, wait for us, man. I was like, I'm not waiting for you guys.
Wow.
Anyway, so that's how we got furniture for the office.
Dude, first of all, what kind of furniture is that?
Well, it was,
the table was a door.
but we're rolling, man. We're like, hey, in fact, I was like, man, we didn't have a table. We have a table now. This is advancement, man. So,
hey, dude, but then also on the side, Mwendi stuck with you.
She stuck with me. She stuck with me.
Yani she, like, in that thing, there was no
unwavering.
There was no unwavering?
No, she didn't waver even a little bit, man.
Wow.
Even a little bit. She did not waver even a little bit. Yeah, man. Yeah. So,
hey, bro, me would have wavered. Where are the dollars?
from Milele to, but here is now where that thing that I told you of taking ourselves not seriously.
Yes, exactly.
Because if I'd set myself up as a superstar,
wow. Depression.
How do I make this transition?
Depression
I
complete.
can't. But yeah, I'm easy. You know, I remember even once for a Milele activity where the guy who was managing and promoting us, Zax, got upset with us because we went to the streets to hand out flyers. Yeah? He's like, dude, man, don't you guys know who you are? Like, I don't want you on the streets handing out flyers. Ask guys, do you know who we are? Like, this is fun for us, man.
Yes.
Talking to people, handing out flyers.
Yeah.
Hey, come for our gig. Like, oh, can I? So we were signing flyers. You know, so that helped me be able to make this transition because I took what I do very seriously. I don't take myself seriously. Okay. So it was okay for me to be with Kokoteni guy, helping him sometimes to take my table, my door, so and my logs to Upper Hill. You know, so it didn't bother me.
So where does Tizika? How does that?
So
Where does that go?
So now, maybe a year and a half, a couple of years in, Milele is planning like a really big summer tour, and guys are like, my guy, you have to come for the tour. So I'm like, man, now I'm settled now, so I'm not even interested in the US. I'm like, I'm happy. I'm doing my thing in Kenya. I'm starting to claw out existence. You know.
So Paul, I've just hit me. In this time when you're here, is that when they record the third Milele album?
Yes. So the record. So I still go and do vocals when I get to the States, but a lot of the album is produced already.
Okay.
So that was the album I had maybe the least input in.
Africa.
Okay. Yeah, which is why it's Milele's like it's not.
Okay, so Milele are now telling you, okay, this.
So the guys are like, hey, my guy, we're doing this, da 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 da. I was like, okay, cool. I'll go apply for a visa. So I agreed to go, but as we're going, so now, are we engaged? No, we're not engaged with Mandy. But I'm thinking now, oh man, we need to get engaged at some point. And so we're planning the tour and all of that. And so I go get my visa, travel to the States, and I'm allowed in.
Yeah.
Okay. And at that point, by the way, in fact, when I was allowed in, I was like, oh, okay. I'm just coming in and out. Like this is like.
This is not home.
God closed this door, and he wants me in Kenya. So
actually, in retrospect, now years later, when you're able to understand the jigsaw puzzle and see it clearly, what's your thoughts about you not getting the visa? Or you not being allowed back in States?
Say that again.
You know, now you have the benefit of looking at things and having the bigger picture of life. So what do you see that season when God, is it even God who closed
that door?
Do you even see it as God who closed
100%. I see it as God who closed the door. And Kijiji doesn't happen.
How do you come back?
Yeah. My worship leading journey with Mavuno doesn't happen.
Wow.
You know, all the things that happened as a result.
A star doesn't happen.
Yeah, all the things that happen as a result of me coming back home don't happen.
That is so deep.
Yeah. And I think for me that's always been such a huge thing that I hold, where I'm like trusting. Like, I've been learning more and more about trust, and you know, we'll talk about, because I've had an interesting journey over the last few years, and I'm just really engaging with the idea of trusting God, like, more and more, and it's driven by this. There's a principle, and something you'll hear me say maybe in this interview several times, where actions speak louder than words, right? So what you do is actually what you believe, right? Not what you say. What you do is actually what you believe. So many times I say the words, I trust God, but my actions don't show that. My actions show I trust money. They show I trust my relationships. You know, so I think
faith without actions is dead.
Yeah. So meaning it's not faith. If it's dead, it's not faith. You know. So yeah, so I think for me, you know, looking back and seeing how God, there's a beauty of memory, like looking back and seeing, oh, okay, God, that's what you mean, right? So if that's what you could do with what I thought at that point I'm sure was the worst thing that could have ever happened to me. Man, I can trust you, man. Yeah, I trust you. So wherever you want me to be, whatever door you close is as beautiful as that door seems. If it's you closing it, I want it shut. I want it shut. So yeah, so that has, I think those experiences helped really form my faith. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. That's a good point to cellar and think about that.
Yeah.
We'll be back to continue the journey from going back to the States.
Okay. So it was like, guys were like, oh man, there's a new production house that has like just different values, different thinking musically, right? So, and that's how we marketed ourselves. Like, yeah, this a place for just, if you want that, go there. But if you want something different, come here.
Okay, in 3, 2, the conversation continues. Hey, I love the pace that we're moving at. I'm getting such insight onto the history of Kijiji. And Kijiji and you guys will understand later on why, not even later on, even now as we do this story, why Kijiji, for me, is extremely pivotal to the Kenya music industry. Not the gospel music industry, but the Kenya music industry. So where this story, we've left it, it is now you go to Stato.
Yeah.
Visitor's visa.
Visitor visa. Head back to the States. So I've got a couple of things on my mind. One, doing the tour successfully. Number 2, I catch a vision when I'm in Kenya before leaving to the States. And the vision was what? Was for me to control even more of the value chain of music. So that's what I was trying to do anyway, right?
Yeah.
I was at the bottom of the barrel with distribution. Everything has been made, everything printed, So you are just trying to get a little margin, right? Then the next move was create your own products. Then the next thing was, what if I owned the studio?
Wow.
That created the things.
Wow.
So what was in my heart was a studio. I need to figure out how, when I go to the States, I'm going to buy a studio.
That is crazy.
Right?
That is crazy.
So begin the tour.
And has Milele's love dipped?
No, love for Milele, like in the
at that time.
No. Milele. So maybe Milele we're not at that crazy celebrity that we had in Kenya, but everything is extremely solid. I mean, to that summer, that 3 months, man, I don't know, 40 shows. Like, I mean, it's still clicking.
I get it.
It's a machine.
I get it. In fact, it's better. It's no more.
Yeah, it's
flowing.
streamlined.
Yes,
it's a machine now. It's a machine.
And these guys had toured a couple of without you.
Without me, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So come back, join the tour. So I've got, so do the tour well, studio, and I also want to buy an engagement ring from Wendy. Like, so that was my 3-point agenda, right? So we do the tour, and then the boys were super gracious because I was like, dude, I realized, oh man, I have this Tizika product. I'm going to sell it on the Milele table when we do our gigs. It's going to be one of the options that people can buy.
Wow.
Right? So we started doing that. That tour, weirdly, had quite a few Kenyan stops. And the Kenyan stops, that's the album guys wanted. And it's got most Mama Milka. What do you mean? But I was flogging it shamelessly. I was flogging that thing with no shame.
Bring back them dollars.
Yeah, everywhere. And I remember just from that CD sales, I made over $10,000
What?
from
Tizika.
from Tizika.
So wait, first of all, you would run out of CDs and then you reprint in the States.
I was reprinting them as I go. I had figured out a system using Kinko's. Whatever the CD, print the cases. Like, so it wasn't even like proper CD duplication.
I get it.
It was like this was one man operation, no boots on the bootstrap,
Gangster.
the whole thing, yeah. So anyway,
But that's powerful. $10,000.
So sold over $10,000, and that was the seed to buy all the equipment I needed.
No way.
With a special mention to my really good friend Julie, who you'll hear about. I told her what I was doing, because the total I needed was about $15,000 to buy all the equipment. And she had what I was doing, and she's like, she had just started a ministry. She didn't even have much money. She asked me, I feel the Lord is asking me to give you $5,000.
No way.
So I had exactly all the money I needed to like buy a really nice studio, like digital mixer. You know, it was the G4, the Mac tower, the Mac tower. You know,
that's where my album was recorded, bro.
The whatnot, all that stuff. Tizika was the seed.
No way.
Was the seed to make that all happen.
And you'd have never planned that.
Never planned that. That's what I'm saying. There's strategy, and then there's like, okay, it wasn't even the main audience.
Yes.
who made this thing happen for us.
Right? Let's see.
Yeah, I think that's Stella.
Where's it, Stella?
Hey, Stella.
Hi. Come on in. You're rolling? You continue?
Yes.
Okay. So you get this seed. You buy the engagement.
I buy the engagement ring. So my 3 objectives are met on that tour. I buy the engagement ring. We get engaged on that trip because Wendy had a trip to the States as well. So we connected. We get engaged in the States. Buy the studio and ship the studio to Nairobi. So so now coming back, now I've come back at a different level from the level I was at.
So you have a mic, you have...
I have everything.
You have everything for a studio?
For a studio.
Okay.
And then at that point I was like, okay, I can't be now in this corporate office. So I was like, okay, I need to find a place now.
Yeah, a real table.
Yeah, exactly. So, and at this point, so I'm still living with Johnny. And Johnny got me into motorbikes. So my mode of transport is a motorbike. So I rode a motorbike generally to get around. And because he had another bike. So he gave me one to be using. So I'm using that bike. I'm operating. I take Wendy for dates on the bike, like that's how I'm living my life, right? So now I was like, okay, I need to find a place, right? I started looking for places, so the first place I found was in Westlands. A really nice, like a little 2-bedroom, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll live in 1 bedroom. The studio will be in the other bedroom. So I find out the information for, it was like an organization that owned them. So I, take my bike, I go to the waiting room, I have my helmet. I go see the person. The mama took one look at me with my motorbike helmet and, and she said, oh, I'm so sorry. The apartment, it was an apartment, it was like a ground level.
Yeah.
So She's like, oh, I'm so sorry, the house is gone. It's
Ay,
just
ay,
gone.
ay, 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 ay,
It's
ay, ay.
just gone. I said, oh man, that's so sad. I said, okay, no problem. I went back to the office, to my card table. Then I called them.
Ay, 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 ay,
And I
ay.
called them and I was like, hey, I'm interested in a da 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 da. She's like, yeah, we have a couple, yeah. So I was like, oh, okay.
It's because of how I looked.
She judged me by my clothes. So I was like, okay, let's on land. I was upset, but I was like, okay, let's on land. So then I found another place on Moshai Drive in, and this place was even slightly more expensive because now this was like a big house, you know, and so I was like, okay, I'm going differently. I put on my one suit, borrowed my sister's Mercedes, and went. And I made sure I did the choo-choo at the door as I enter the building. The Indian guy listened to my thing, da 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 da. I got my lease signed.
That's hilarious. Messed up, but hilarious.
Yeah. So I got the place, and then now the next move was like now build the studio. So got carpenters, built it out, and in the living room, and that now created our. Now I'm like, now this is official. Now we have, and I had enough money that I'd saved now from the tour and all of that to be able to now do all of these things, right? Yes. To build that, to buy now some proper desks, a couple of proper desks, chairs, this studio chair, and now officially we had a record studio. We had a studio.
But no artist. Because the Gopa artist has gone.
Yeah, no artist. No artist.
The Gopa wanna be artist.
But then also on that trip, I'd already kind of started thinking strategically because I was like, okay, I want to do a studio, and I was like, who do I want to be my producer in that studio, like my A producer, and the only person who was on my heart was Aaron Rimbui.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, we go to this church in Chicago. It's a mega church, very famous church, still is today, called Willow Creek. And so at Willow Creek, there's a special artist performing, and that performing artist is a jazz musician called Kirk Whalum, saxophone guy, the guy for Gospel According to Jazz. So I went to the CD table, bought a CD, and told him, hey, I'd like you to sign this. One of my friends is a huge fan of yours. It's called Aaron Rimbui. Sign this for him.
Yeah.
Okay. So he signed that. Album. So when I come, I go to Aroro's house.
So first of all, that means you and Aroro talked when you came back.
Yeah, no. Now we are friends. We're buddies.
Oh, okay.
And at this point, I should note that Aaron at this point is at I've forgotten the name. Bruce Odhiambo's studio.
Yes, Johari
Clef. And he's there with Mandugu Digital, with Ambrose Mandugu Digital. I think most underrated producer in Kenya. Like, if guys actually know what he did, he would be such a household name. Anyway, he moved to TZ. So Ambrose, they work there. And that's when I become friends with Bruce Odhiambo. And I'd go and hang out with them quite a bit because my wife Mwendi is in the advertising agency space, and she would get like jingle jobs. But her jingle people were Aaron and Bruce and Mandugu Digital.
Wow.
Right? So I'd come and do BGVs,
make a few coins.
Just make some money or whatever, when they're recording, and they'd call me, and we'd have but it was always a fun. We had so much fun. Always laughter, good times at that studio. So, and Aaron and I now really forming a really good friendship at this point from his tour, and you know,
Value based, you're also the same.
yeah. So I mean, I know where he lives. I've been to his house. Then like we're buddies. We're like good buddies at this point. So anyway, so now I came back from the States and went to see him. But when I go to see him, I was like, hey bro, I've got something for you. And I gave him the CD signed to Aaron by Kakwelam. There's a whole loop on that story.
I know. There's an insane loop.
Crazy loop on that
Yes.
story. And I'll tease it out because Aaron, man, maybe a decade plus later, gets to show Kakwelam that CD and show him how he signed a CD to him way before Aaron got to meet him. And Kakwelam becomes the guy who makes it possible for Aaron Mbugua to move to the States.
God.
So it's crazy. That's what I'm saying. There's strategy, and then there's like how you can't draw that up.
Dude,
You can't draw that up.
Aaron has even brought Kak to Kenya.
Yeah.
And they're on each other's albums.
Yeah. No, like that's like one of Aaron's like close musical friends.
That is insane.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Yeah. You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I come
Wow.
back and I'm like, and I have a proposal for him. I'm like, dude, so he has a job, but I'm like, man, dude, I want to set up a studio. It's gonna be happening. It's gonna be, this is the thing. So, man, let's, I'd love for you to come and let's do it together. And I don't know if he said yes immediately, but he did say yes. And so that's how.
So when he says yes, he leaves Johari Cliff.
I'm not certain that he left. I think he might have already
He doubled.
left.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I think he might have already have left.
Okay.
Because I think maybe he felt his season was done. In
Yes,
fact, I
yes.
think that's exactly what it was. He felt his season was done. So I kind of just landed at the opportune
time.
moment. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, cool, man. And I told him the vision, I want to record artists. We'll do jingles and stuff, but I really want to record artists. So we figured out, and we started operating. So I'm still a zero budget guy. So it's not like, even as I'm employing guys, I don't know I'm gonna pay them.
Yeah.
So Aaron joins, and our first thing was not even to do albums. Like, let's kind of just get the record label's name out. I'm trying to remember some of the artists that we had just come through.
Mr. Lenny.
Yeah, Mr. Lenny, DNG. So these are guys who we're just working on your projects. We're not per se your record label, right?
Is that when you do Chatter Beat?
That's when we do Nameless's Chatter Beat.
Waire.
We did Waire. So it was like, guys were like, oh man, there's a new production house that has like just different values, different thinking musically, right? So, and that's how we marketed ourselves. Like, yeah, this a place for just, if you want that, go there. But if you want something different, come here. And so even like for Nameless, he never released the song, and I think he should have.
Song was so good.
Because I think Nameless was where I'd say, well, Bien has surpassed that, but maybe Bien like a couple of years ago, where he was just like, he was the king, right? And for me, I've always felt like when you're the king, then there's a responsibility you have to expand the kingdom, right? And so I was like, dude, you can literally expand the musical palette of Kenya.
Wow.
By what you do next.
Wow.
So the song we had for him was left field. it was like a Afro rock song, but it was very nameless. It wasn't like we're not trying to make him a Mzungu. It was like, and I really wish he had put it out. But yeah, whatever happened with the industry happened. And our whole thing was like, man, dude, you have an opportunity to just expand our ears, because whatever you put out will be a hit and people will like it, right? That's almost like the place you have reached, from an industry point of view.
Is that when you also did Waire?
That's when we did Waire.
Waire put it out though.
Himi put it out.
In fact, he named the album.
Yeah, Definition of a Love Child.
Yeah.
It was a title track.
And at that time, I think I'd also met Kanjii. I was a big fan of his since his performance days with what's the name of the group?
Milele.
Milele. And I think he had just opened Kijiji Studios, and he had told me, yeah, pass by sometime. Let's see if you can jam on a song or two. And that's when I came through to the studio. We started working on. He played me the beat for Definition of a Love Child. Just the vibe, Kanjii was different. He wouldn't go mainstream pop for you, but he'll give you a concept and like, can we try? He's a very serious music director, and that's how we came up with that jam. And it became the title project for the album. You know what I mean? So, and he also, his vocal was on it as well. I think in the chorus.
Yeah. There's a bit on it. Any women that you worked with at this time?
We did a thing with Masi Myra. I can't remember what it was. And I've always loved Masi Myra. I'm like, her voice is the most unique voice, like, period. So Masi Myra, I know we did something with Masi Myra. But we really start making our mark when we now start taking on artists, right? So I wasn't that interested in the whatever 15K to be made from producing a song. I was trying to build like an ecosystem of production and the distribution of the CD and all of that, because I started out in distribution. So we do the artists, help us pay some bills or whatever.
Rebecca Dawn.
Rebecca Dawn, yes. There's a story there. I can't tell that story.
When we switch up the camera, you will.
but I think she's told that story. But it's on my story. It's on my story to tell.
Yeah.
So Rebecca Dawn. So there was like solo artists who we did things for. But my big thing was I wanted to record guys and do full albums, and then be the person who distributes that album. Right?
So that's very DNG, because you've mentioned him, but you did do the album.
We did the album, but it was his album. He was paying for it. We were just work for hire. Yeah, so it wasn't like Cheesy or any of those other guys where we're like, hey, come, we'll record you and we'll do this.
But the reason I think you're rushing is because on that day, you see, you've talked about Aaron.
Yeah.
But on the DNG album, there's a couple of guys.
Yeah.
And those was being done at Kijiji.
All of that was being done at Kijiji. And I think of the DNG album, we must have done, if there were 10 tracks, we did 9 or 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also there's a short stint where I don't know what happened at Johari Clef, because even Mandugu came to Kijiji for a season, and that was just fun, man. Like the quality of music and his chemistry with Aaron was unmatched. Like those two were, I always think that, man, if we had kept those two together for like a 5-year run,
It's been said.
it'd have been something else. Those
Okay.
two were bad news together.
But now you have this Kijiji hub
Yes.
where musicians are constantly walking in and out.
Yes. Oh, a small side note. Just before now I do my own artists, there's a small side story, which is
Devi.
no, not Devi. Man, what was this group called? They were working at Kera Gospel Fathers. Gospel. So I had this they need whatever project, and at this point I don't have a studio, so I executive produced their first album.
What do
I
you mean?
paid for it. The gospel, the first with Team Innovator.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were. I can't remember why, and I don't know if I wanted to put out their music. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, but Gospel Fathers. So after Lenny, the next act, Mr. Lenny, the next act that I had like a contract with those Gospel Fathers.
Yeah.
That project. Yeah.
So when you say you executive produce, what does that mean?
I was the money. I was the financier, and I might not have finished paying for it, Timo. So,
but hey, you brought in some classics.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that particular project. So anyway, my mind was already kind of moving in that direction.
Okay.
That there's some dope artists. We didn't use the word dope then. There's some cool artists that we can do stuff with. So then the next thing. So at that point, then now, I don't know, was it you or Cheesy who came first?
Hey, Cheesy, you guys, in fact, you have jumped.
I'm jumping
Because Makuyu.
You're right. So my good friend who worked at so at this point, so we're doing some jingles. We're doing one of the things that we're doing is radio stingers, whatever they're called, and the little music in between TV radio shows and your radio ident song music. And so we got a project from Hope FM. And that's how David Blackman ended up doing Sulue, being the main producer for Sulue.
That's bananas.
He was still intern status. But his instinct, his production, David's one of the best producers, period. I don't know, was it you or Cheesy who came first?
Hey, Cheesy, you guys, in fact, you have jumped.
I'm jumping.
Because Makuyu.
You're right. So my good friend who worked at so at this point, so we're doing some jingles. We're doing one of the things that we're doing is radio stingers, whatever they're called, and the little music in between TV radio shows and your radio ident song music. And so we got a project from Hope FM, and from that project I became good friends with the manager of Hope FM at the time. His name was David Makuyu. And we became like really good friends. I mean, I was groomsman at his wedding, and he was at mine. Like That's how good of friends we became. But then he had this idea to create Kenya's first reality contest show, and so he came to us and we're like, oh man, yeah, we'll do it. So we agreed that we would create would do two things. One, we would create the album for the winner. But number two, we'd also create a compilation album of like the best acts
Wow.
from the reality show. Okay, so the best act was this incredible singer called Esther Kalunde.
Ay.
And so Esther Kalunde, you know, we it was a collaboration with man, what was the thing that David did? You're the one now who knows this history.
I don't even know that. I've forgotten the name of the thing.
Yeah,
But me,
cool.
I found them.
Not Talanta. Kipawa.
Oh yes. Power.
Pulled that one from far. So proud of myself. Kipawa talent search.
Wow.
Right? And so Esther Kalunde was that. Then now in the list of people who had kind of made the finals. So we also created a compilation album. I can't remember any of the names on that.
But there's that song. When you wear my baba.
Yeah. And she was
Hakuna wingi kama wewe.
yeah, she ended up doing some stuff in the industry.
Yeah.
That chick, I can't remember her name. Umuwema.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a nice song.
So that album, I didn't even know that because you saw I found these things there.
Yeah.
That whole Kipawa album was the runners-up or people who were competing within the show.
Exactly.
Got an opportunity.
Yes.
To still record a song.
Still record a song.
That was brilliant thinking.
Yeah. So everyone, all, I think of the finalists or whatever, everyone got a song, but Esther got an album.
Okay.
Right. So, yeah, that was cool. That was cool. But that was in collaboration with David and Kipawa.
Yeah. By the time I came, there were albums already at Kijiji.
Yes.
You had the jazz albums.
Aha. Okay. So.
And how does that come across?
Okay. So, then in that case, Cheesy was the first man through the doors.
Okay.
Yeah. So Cheesy, Dana Seda, so he wasn't a worship leader, but he was like a song leader at Nairobi Chapel at the time. I think in the youth. Maybe he was leading worship with the youth or something. Can't remember. And I can't remember how we heard about him or how we interacted with him. But I was like, man, this guy can really sing, and I think it married some of the worlds that I was interested in at the time, which was like I want singing musicians and guys who you can build like elaborate music for, right? So we got Cheesy, we signed him to Kijiji. And then started working on his first album. We worked on that album. Two small side stories in there. So the first one is, when we started recording, we were shocked at how him and Eric sound alike. So then we're like, oh man, we should just get them to do a collab. So and Aaron and I are good friends with Eric at this point. So we called Eric Wainaina, hey, dude, come record with him. And so Eric came through to the studio, recorded. And then I remember Sheba, his wife, was coming to pick him up or something or whatever. And we played a trick on her. So we played her Cheesy. I don't know, Sheba, if you remember this. They sounded so alike that we played her Cheesy and told her, man, what do you think about what, you know what? She's like, oh man, yeah, Eric sounds great, like, or whatever it was. And then we're like, that's not Eric. She's like, there's no way. Like, that's not Eric. Like, they sound, even if you listen to the song they did together, it's like it's uncanny how cheesy, adored Eric and literally created his sound around him. Now he sounds different, but then he really sounded like Eric Farimena.
Then Kanjii starts saying, you know what would be nice? If Eric could be on this song.
By Eric, we're talking about Eric Wainaina.
Now let me tell you the story of Eric Wainaina.
The Eric Wainaina.
Eric Wainaina. Now in that 2 years I've quit music and being a dancer, Eric used to play some gigs at Yaya Center. There used to be a thing they used to do at Yaya on the pathways for walking. There used to be a restaurant, then outside the restaurant, at night they would close. The restaurant would put a band right in the walkways of Yaya, second floor. So I'd been going to watch Eric play there. And I'd bought his album, Sawa Sawa. And I'd listened to that album inside out. Back at some point, I'd put it on the wall. I'd copied the music onto my computer, and then I'd put that album on the wall saying, honestly, to God, this is the best written music in the world. So it was there, and that was a caption.
What?
It was on my wall. So I was watching it. So when these guys are talking in the studio, now I'm a huge fan of Eric's. Huge.
Yo, yeah.
Huge. You can't believe how huge a fan of Eric's I am. These guys are talking and I'm wondering, what are they saying? What are these people talking about? I'm like, anyway, they'll tell me. I go to Campo. 2 days later, they say, come, we want to finish the session tonight. So I show up at the studio at 10 o'clock. Then we're working, we're singing the verses. We're just trying to, the goal that night is to sing all the verses, have it laid out, complete the arrangement, and then get ready for release. And then it's now like midnight, we're getting hungry, we hadn't eaten. The doorbell rings. So Kanjii tells me, go get the door.
You know it's food.
No, I don't know what it is.
Oh yeah.
I go downstairs, I walk past the kitchen and I open the door. And manze, it's Eric Wainaina. Amebeba chips za Kanjii. I could not believe it. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I'm like, hey. And then Eric is a very charming guy because Eric, they've spoken with Kanjii.
Yeah, they've set you up.
They've set this thing up. So when I open the door, I find this dude with Makenchik. And then Shiba is like closing the car or something. And then Eric's at the door and me, I'm just, I'm confused.
You met your idol.
I can't believe. And then Eric stretches out his hand. It's done, right? But I'm collapsing. My name is Eric. I'm like, hey! What's happening? Eric walks in. We eat chipos. He goes up to the studio. Remember that has a bed frame.
Yes.
His studio is still like that. And Eric performs his verse.
For what you were saying.
What you are saying.
So, but then anyway, you know, we finished the project, and then we do a listening party, and you know, we call guys, you know, Kinamos, I can't remember who else, and they come just in the studio, just hanging out in the studio. It wasn't a big studio, so it wasn't that many people. And we did the listening party, and we finished the project and everyone is quiet. And I was like, at that point I knew
something's gotta change.
this is not the album for this guy.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, thank you guys, you know, and we let it go. But then my mind was like, okay, I don't know what to do with this project then, because we didn't capture something amazing for him. And then, just about this time, walks into the studio a young guy who's either just graduated from Daystar or about to graduate, and this guy is called David Mothami. and aka Blackman walks in, and I just remember him like he had a chip on his shoulder and was almost expecting to be rejected, right? And I don't know if it took me back to my days of being rejected, but I think I knew that feeling.
Yeah.
So so he's like, yeah, man, kind of shy. Yeah, man, I do production, I make beats, da. So like, okay, let's go to the studio, let's hear your beats. So I was like, oh, this guy he knows what he's doing. Then you guys, I believe, and Cheesy can confirm this, it was that same day. I think Cheesy walks in to the studio, and I go like this is like your audition.
Yes. Yes.
You guys make a song. So Cheesy obediently goes into the studio, and they create maybe Sulue, like one of the songs.
Yes.
I listened to that thing. I was like, this is a kid who's doing Cheesy's album.
Remove everything.
Yeah. Delete. This is a guy doing that project.
Wow.
Kanjii says he's listened to all the songs and he's deleted. Of all the songs he has, he's keeping 3. He's deleted all the others. You have to write new songs like this one. And you're going to work, I've removed you from this other producer. You're now going to work with this producer, David Blackman Mudhambi.
A.K.A. Blackman, yes.
Now David and I have been yoked together. And we are unbelievers. Men don't like hip hop.
He doesn't like
The guy that like any Afro smooth things, attack kusikia.
that. Day was called Afro fusion.
Those days was a fusion. He doesn't like that. Now me, I'm coming to this thing with a very heavy soulful singing with an African bass. David is coming to this thing
With hip hop.
dark child, hip hop. We're meeting in the studio. Every damn session is a fight. There's no session we had that was smooth. We fought through the whole record. We fought. He made a track. I was like, your track is nonsense. He's like, I don't care. Come sing nonsense lyrics. I'll just live with them. Then we go. So we actually power through the album like that. We used to fight and then continue working. Then fight, then continue working.
Ukweli tu, waziwazi nitasema sema, wasana wakati nipeni jamani. Ni mrembo, ni mcheshi, mcha Mungu, mke kati ya wake, penzi lipo la nyuma, mioyo yetu yamejaa, kisha sasa nimeamua, nitatangaza ndiye wangu milele. Mikono nakosa, machoni naona, moyoni nakosa, kinywani nasema, songa songa kando, namuona, ngoja ngoja mambo, nasikia, songa songa kando, namuona, ngoja ngoja mambo, nasikia.
And that's how David Blackman ended up doing Sulue, being the main producer for Sulue.
That's bananas.
He was still the intern status. But his instinct, his production, David's one of the best producers, period.
Clean.
His instinct, he makes you feel, and that's very hard to do. People can make beats all day long, but people who make you feel something are special. So he made you feel something,
Yeah.
and was using sounds Aaron wouldn't use. It wasn't piano heavy. It was just different, And even with Aurora, like, hey, by the way, you guys, us guys will keep working on other things.
Yeah.
and that was Kijiji's first project.
Wow.
That now we ended up releasing, and Sulue, yeah.
That was an
It
amazing.
was a good album.
Yeah, it was a good.
Yeah.
And I think I'm still yet to hear another project that sounds like that.
Yeah, it was so unique, man.
Yeah, there's
So unique.
hip hop, Afrofusion. Talk about hip hop, the African sound, singing, all intertwined.
Yeah.
I remember Songa Songa. Hey, that's actually the reason I looked for Kijiji.
Wow.
That and DNGs. But then my question is this two things. Number one, is the Afrofusion sound there?
Yeah, so Afrofusion sound is kind of ish there, and so there's a couple of people who introduced us to Afrofusion, at least to me. One was Samawati sounds through Jomenes,
Oh.
because that's the first time you hear that, Nyatiti, but it's a pop record. It's not a traditional song.
Yep.
Right? That African Woman was genius. Such a great song, man. And then this, obviously the second person was Eric Wainaina, right? And Eric softened it for all of us, right?
Okay.
So Eric came out with Sawa Sawa first, and that was a smash hit. And so it was introduced us to hearing our music differently. So at this point, so I'm interested in it because, look at the Milele sound, which was very pop. Milele sound was, we were young.
Yeah.
We're trying to reach young people. That's our target. It was pop. But you'd see us every so often just lean
Into your age.
lean into something else, right?
Yeah.
And so Afrofusion is kind of like, so Cheese is that project was an Afrofusion project, the one Aaron and I did.
Oh, I guess.
It was an Afrofusion album, but it just wasn't smacking. And when Davey brought now more of that hip hop mindset and tight beats and but still, and it's still called Aaron Kample Keys.
Yes.
And whatnot. Then it just created this interesting blend that I think was very, very, very cool.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it was unique in the urban Afrofusion. It targeted a different audience that hadn't been properly spoken to.
For sure.
What about the jazz side?
So
Because that one, there's no, that's where I was getting all this.
So for sure, Kijiji Records put out the first Kenyan jazz records. The history of Kenyan music hasn't proved us wrong, and that's how we marketed them anyway. We didn't go very far in our research, but we're like, you do know. I mean,
I get it.
So at least jazz this way. Maybe they were instrumental records, but these were jazz records, right? So in the first, Helon came first. Helon came first.
Zama.
So now, as far as the business model, so we're doing the distribution. As far as CDs is concerned, and we're recording albums, right? And taking them to radio and all of that. But then I think it was just kind of like just processing all of that and just trying to figure out. Again, it was all about what else is in the value chain. And that's how we got into events.
What about the jazz side?
So
Because that one, there's no, like, that's where I was hearing about this.
So for sure, Kijiji Records put out the first Kenyan jazz records. The history of Kenyan music hasn't proved us wrong, and that's how we marketed them anyway. We didn't go very far in our research, but we're like, you do know. I mean,
I get it.
And at least jazz this way. Maybe they were instrumental records, but these were jazz records, right? So in the first, Helon came first. Helon came first.
Zama.
And so Helon came to the studio, and he was trying to do a project, I think, or either a few songs. I can't remember what it was, but he was singing. And then I can't remember what made us shift gear. Maybe we had him play on one of the songs and like, dude, that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
And I remember he was so fast at writing songs. Like, it was unbelievable how fast that guy wrote his songs. Like, literally, it'd be like 10 minutes, it's like, okay, cool, I have the song. And it was that fast.
Wow.
So at that point, now hearing that sound that we were trying to create for Cheesy, but now jazzed up and with a sax as the lead, it just made sense. It made so much sense. So we're like, so we put it out as our first jazz album.
That's crazy.
And that now just opened up our world. Like, we're like, okay, there's a whole pretty cool world that doesn't exist that us guys can literally create. So that's how we got into jazz. Helon was our first jazz artist. And then there's an interesting segue here before we get into hip hop.
And you have to also touch Keys of Life.
Yes. So now, as far as the business model, so we're doing the distribution. As far as CDs is concerned, and we're recording albums, right? And taking them to radio and all of that. But then I think it was just kind of like just processing all of that and just trying to figure out. Again, it was all about what else is in the value chain, and that's how we got into events.
Wow.
It was just basically asking the question, like, okay, cool, man. If we're controlling the creation of the music in our studio, if we're doing this, we need to control the events as well.
Yeah.
And so
give a taste of what people will hear.
Exactly.
And they'll get the product.
Exactly. But also the events, and all of this was Milele thinking, event is where you push a lot of product sales anyway. So it was, again, just this ecosystem. And the question was always like, okay, cool. What is it that we're not doing that we should be doing that could improve our margins, improve what we have as value, right? So that's how we got into doing events. And Helon's Zama launch, if I'm not wrong, Zama launch was like our first like artist concert.
Wow.
Yeah. And at this point we're like, okay, cool. This is working.
What you've just made me remember and realize and why it was done. Remember Ruka Duka?
Yes. Yes, Ruka Duka.
That was bananas.
That was just distribution still, man. Yep.
Just explain it to somebody in case they wonder what Ruka Duka was.
So Ruka Duka was literally it was basically, it's experiential marketing. We didn't know it as that, right? It was basically creating these experiences that happen at the retail, in the retail space. of an artist being there, his music being there, and then but almost forming it like some kind of tour,
Yeah.
right? Which is why we called it Ruka Duka, which jump from Duka to Duka. Man,
That was ahead.
you know stuff, my guy.
Ruka Duka was, and it was at that time, what do you call this? Nakumat.
Yeah.
Nakumat Mega.
Yeah,
I mean, the different Nakumats you go and
Nakumats.
set up.
Yeah. That was amazing.
Okay, I want us to take a slight segue. I don't
Yeah.
even want us to come back to hip hop.
Okay.
I want us to come back to Mavuno.
Okay, yeah,
Because you've not talked about church.
Mavuno is almost like it's parallel streaming with some of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, take a 2-minute break. We're coming back.
Then he tells me, yeah, I'm trying to work through worship right now. Just trying to figure out, what my game plan is and what I'm gonna do. I said, that's so crazy. I have your game plan. And I had it in my pocket.
What?
I had it in my pocket. So I remove it and tell him, do this, go and do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're back. Back like a vertebrate. The
Back.
story continues.
Busy, back.
Where we are, we have heard about the birth of Kijiji, the artist that came into Tizika. What is that album called? The one by David Makuyu. I mean, it's so interesting here because all this is pre-me.
Yeah, for sure.
Like now I'm able to understand. The one which is also pre-me that you need to explain to a lot of people is Mavuno worship.
Okay, so the story of Mavuno.
Mavuno church, actually.
Yeah, obviously, Mavuno church comes before Mavuno worship, and so this young pastor in the States doing his masters is discipling Milele. That pastor is Pastor M.
Drew.
Yeah, he went by Drew at the time. And then so now what happens? And then I told you about how now I used to joke with him, like, you guy, but now when you plant your church, I can't be your guy.
Yeah.
I'll come. That's when I'll start leading worship, because me at that point I was in Christian entertainment, and I didn't really particularly enjoy worship music. There was Israel, and before him was Ron Kenoli, etc. But it was generally, it wasn't that great.
tea.
Yeah. But then it was a joke, and we'd laugh about it. So fast forward, now I've started Kijiji. Aaron is working there in Mbui. We're starting to make moves and start making music. But when I came back to Kenya, I started going to Nairobi Chapel. And Nairobi Chapel was where Pastor M was one of the associate pastors there.
Alongside Pastor Janet.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Alongside Pastor Janet. And so, so obviously he had been a disciple of mine, so we maintained a close friendship. Would go to his house.
And when you say you're going to Nairobi Chapel, you're not leading worship.
I'm not leading worship.
I'm
just attending.
I'm just attending.
Okay. I'm just attending. And I'd cheat sometimes and go watch Zabo at Bapo. Yeah. But chapel was where Wendy and I went. So going to church, and Pastor M and I would get into conversations. He tried severally to recruit me into the worship team. And like, yeah, you need to join our worship team. And I always like, nah, nope. No, thank you.
For real?
No, thank you. And once, to just get him off my back, I told him I can join the team, but allow me to let's let everyone go. And then let's build it again. Let's build it from scratch. Because I think for me, I just know. So I'm coming from entertainment.
Yes.
World-class entertainment. Putting together shows, So I didn't completely comprehend how worship music worked. But I was like, it's very far from the world that I'm from. So I was like, hey, if you want me to come, then maybe we need to
Dismantle
get it,
the whole
yeah,
thing.
we need to get it closer to the world. You know, I've said that. I didn't tell him that way, but this is gonna be seen by many people. So, Pastor Eman are really good friends. So I told him very differently from how I've said it right now. And then so the requests stopped coming in, and continued going. I loved it. Chapel, wonderful church. Then Chapel now multiplies
Yes.
into 5 congregations, which was unprecedented move. So unprecedented that the senior pastor of the church where I'm serving at now in the States, one day comes in and he's like, hey, the bishop you told me about, is his name Oscar? I said, yeah, he is. He's like, you guy, I'm studying him in my PhD.
What?
Yeah.
So the church that you are in States right now,
Yeah.
a pastor who's American to the
American guy, yeah.
is studying.
Bishop Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the whole thing of multiplying the church and all of that.
By the way, do me a favor.
Uh-huh.
Just look in the camera and ask Bishop Oscar for me to
Bishop-
come to sit here. He was supposed to come.
Bishop Oscar, I know you'll never see this. But I'm gonna ask anyway because someone might send it to you. Clip this. Bishop Oscar, your story needs to be told. We keep on telling it for you, and I think you need to tell it for yourself.
Cheers, guy.
I've told him with
was-
Kiroho, with Roho.
With Kiroho.
Yeah, with like a sadness.
He was to come. The day before he came,
Yeah.
he cancelled.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I'm just, it's important. His legacy is important. And you're here sharing.
Yeah, for sure. Oscar is a children of that legacy for sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, so they multiply into 5 churches, and
Just explain that to somebody, especially in the context of a non-Kenyan.
yeah, okay. So and even for Kenyans, man,
Yeah.
like it was unprecedented. In my ministry life, I haven't seen it happen again.
Wow.
I haven't seen it happen. It was a one-off thing.
Wow.
Right? It was a one-off thing where Bishop Oscar. So they had a couple of challenges. Number one, the church was bursting at the seams, right? And they were maxed out on services, right? So the thought is, okay, cool. Most churches, you think addition, right? Okay, cool. Let's go plant another church, and now create, or maybe not even plant another church. Let's find overflow. Let's keep
move venue.
let's keep on expanding.
Yes,
Let's keep on
yes.
expanding, right? So yeah, that was one problem. The second problem he had was a wonderful problem. He had raised sons and daughters in ministry who were all now peaking. They had all reached
Wow.
right where they could take over his job. And so he solved those 2 things with one move.
You guys, that I've not even looked at it from the Peking perspective.
Yeah. Which was genius, and so unprecedented and so courageous, which is my thing. Was like, okay, man, here's what's going to happen. This church is going to multiply into 5 churches, and not 5, not what guys do today, which is 5 venues.
Yes.
Which is I'm down teaching and there's a video going everywhere,
no.
or all of that. It was just like, hey, the guys I've raised are all, great leaders and can run their own churches. So we're going to multiply into 5 congregations. We're going to give those congregations, I think, a 1-year ramp, meaning financial ramp, meaning we're paying your bills for a year. After that 1 year is over, you're on your own. And so let's go. And he was one of the 5.
Yes.
Which, so even him, he was in the same situation,
So I remember at that point, guys were so disappointed. What is going on? What's God into? Why would we buy this land and use all this money for the government to stop us? But as the elders prayed, they began to feel something very interesting. And God sometimes works in your disappointment. Remember the story of sometimes the things don't work out the way you want them to, but God has a bigger plan. So what happened actually is that in the process,
It's crazy.
as we prayed, because it took a while to pray. First of all, you're so disappointed you don't even want to pray. And you're like, God, give us our land, give us our land, give us our land.
Mm-hmm.
Then you stop praying that way and you're like, okay, God, so what are you saying? After you've stopped demanding and you're like, okay, it's not helping me. So you get to the place now where you say, okay, so what is God saying? So we actually began to ask God, what are you saying to us? And God, the answer he gave to Pastor Oscar and even to the rest of the team was, I never intended for Nairobi Chapel to go into one space. I intended you to multiply and become many churches. And already I've given you what it takes now, not in the future. So do it now. So the thought immediately was, take Nairobi Chapel and multiply it into 5 churches right now. Don't even wait for the day that you'll have more. I've given you the pastors, I've given you the money to do that. So we're like, wow, I mean, how is that? So it was such a crazy idea. And the idea was take the 5 roads that lead into the city and put a significant, the 4 roads, lead so Mombasa Road, Wayaki Way, Ngong Road, Jogoo Road, put a significant church in each of those and then leave the one in the center. So 1 church multiplies into 5. And so that's a decision we made. We decided, okay, in a year's time, we're actually going to split this church 5 ways and go into 5 different directions.
And I just really love that story. I mean, I was part of it, but I really love it, man. Because it was such a kingdom first move. Yeah. It was such a God's kingdom first move. Anyway.
You know what's mind-blowing about that and why I'm so glad you've shared that? First of all, I've had Pastor Janet on CTA.
Yeah.
So it's a good CTA to watch for you to hear an internal perspective of somebody who was there. She went with Pastor Oscar to Nairobi Chapel.
Yeah.
But you know Mavuno before Mavuno was birthed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right now there's Mavunos, there's like 60, 70 different, like that Mavuno church alone has birthed 70 or more churches. So
I think 54.
Oh, 54, okay. So if I check my numbers, thank you. But that on its own is incredible.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
That from the grandchildren are 54.
Yeah. Imagine.
Wow.
Imagine that. And so anyway, so how it was structured was to prepare people. There were the timings of the service on Sunday. So if say the 10 o'clock service, the guys who come for the 10 o'clock service, you guys are the guys going south.
Oh, this is before now they've launched.
Yeah, so meaning you're giving people a chance to, see the Pasi who's gonna be there, and because now, it was a wonderful strategy. So it was like, I can't remember for how long, but so the 10 o'clock service was going south to south with Muredi. And then Gowi was going south. Gowi was going east.
Mashariki.
Yeah. David West.
Covenant.
Yeah, and then Charles was at the center, and then Bishop Oscar was now going to the other one. So,
wow.
So that's how it was broken down. Huh? Amazing. And so where does the story go from there? Oh yeah, so
how do you end up there?
Yeah. So now see, I'm there. So and I'm Pastor M's boy. Like, I'm going to his house, we're hanging out. He comes by the studio. So we've retained a really good friendship and discipler mentorship relationship. Where we used to run we lived pretty close to each other. So I'd go to his estate and they had like a circuit that you could run. So we would run together, chat in the morning. So we were very close. So the 10 o'clock obviously is where Mwendi and I are going, because that's the person we know the most, and that's our guy. Then some miraculous occurrences. So I wasn't Pastor M's first choice to lead worship at Mavuno. He asked someone else, okay, and he asked this other person, and it didn't work out for her, whatever, or she took long. I can't remember. I don't know what the whatevers were. Anyway, I wasn't trying to be a worship leader, so I but still. Anyway, yeah, she should have allowed me to say no first. I think he was just like, that young is gonna say no. Yes. Anyway, so that situation didn't exactly work out. But I don't know any of this. I know this later, right? Me, I'm doing Kijiji. We're making music,
Yeah.
having the time of our lives. You know, Cheesy, Aroro, it's a family, you know.
Yeah.
I think at this point, I've launched the Villagers Band and I'm doing my own music, like, but I'm not recording, but I'm doing gigs, you know.
And which you're coming
And
to.
we'll get there, yeah?
Yeah.
So anyway, I started doing, it was just more of a mental exercise. And I don't know why. I can only say it was God. So the mental exercise that I was working on was, if I was to lead worship in a church, like how do you change worship in churches? And what would I do? So it was just a mental exercise. I wasn't doing it for anyone.
You're just asking yourself.
Yeah. And so I started writing down some things. I like, okay, cool, man, you need a music director. Me, I'm thinking from the gig world, right? At this point, music directors is not really a thing. You are the guy who led the band. A music director is not a guy who leads the band.
Exactly.
A music director is a guy who captures the musical vision
Yeah.
and works with the band to deliver.
Wow,
on this. So I'm thinking,
this thing is so important.
I'm thinking, you need a music director. I'm like, sound, you need a great sound engineer, this type of the equipment you need, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just writing stuff down. I'll never forget this day. Pastor M come to, I used to like maize, roasted maize. I don't know if he still does. And so he swings by, he's walking from somewhere, maybe in Ngong Road, and he's walking home to Ngumo. What's that? Sun something estate, whatever it's called. And me, I was on Moshai Drive. So you walk by, you know, the estate that I lived in and had Kijiji in. So he's walking by, he pops by to gotea me. You know, he comes in, we chat. And then he's walking out, now I chomoka to escort him out. And then he starts, you know, telling me about, you know, what he's doing with worship, what he's doing with the new church. I think maybe asking me, how's it going? Then he tells me, I'm trying to work through worship right now. You know, just trying to figure out, you know, what my game plan is and what I'm gonna do. I said, that's so crazy. I have your game plan. And I had it in my pocket.
What?
I had it in my pocket. So I remove it and tell him, do this, go and do this. And I walk him through it. This is what you need, a music director, you need that, blah, blah, band, go and do this, go and do that.
That's
So
crazy.
Isn't that wild?
That's insane.
So then I think he pauses, and then he goes like, "You guys, can you do this for me? Can you just do it? Can you do this?" And then
And you're not expecting that at all.
I wasn't, but I didn't hesitate. I didn't think about it. I was just like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. Let's do it. And then so my next conversation was to go into the studio and tell Aroro what our next thing we're doing. The next thing that we're doing together is. And and then Aroro goes like, "I don't worry about it. I got a band."
I need to tell them.
And that was the Four Winds band.
Wow.
So which was, you know, Kongo, Wamai, JJ, and Aaron. That's the band we started with.
You get that band is so good.
It was smoking. It was
You started literally with the best musicians.
The band was smoking.
I
don't think I've had many bands that had every player was that great. Yeah. I don't think I've had many bands that. Maybe a handful. Yeah. So that was a killer band. Yeah. So Aroro was down. He was ready to go. Went and hollered at the boys. The boys are like, "Yeah, let's do it." And I'm telling you, that thing unfolded so fast. Like, I'm telling you, like, it was those things like in 24 hours, like one of those, we had a band and I was the worship guy.
And you have freedom to plan the worship as you will do.
100%. And one of the things that excited me in my conversation with Pastor M, because now we got excited and started chopping up like vision. And I told him the reason I'm doing this is I want to be up to that point. I had done a lot of complaining, right? Man, I wish the music was, I wish the sound was, I wish da 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 da, and I just felt so. When we got excited, I was like, man, let's be the people guys complain about. Like, let's take this opportunity to fix the things that we've complained about in church, and maybe that helps a generation. So that was literally, so that got me excited because that was a high vision idea.
Yeah.
Of yeah, what did it look like to try and fix this thing, and that's literally how Mavuno worship began.
Okay. I want you to paint to somebody. I've observed the changes that have happened in worship over the years, in terms of, for example, payment.
Yeah,
No one was being paid.
yeah,
It was almost wrong.
to pay guys. Yeah,
You get? So you're so pivotal in the change. And this one, it's like, I have seen it for myself. So I can see what you have done in terms of changing worship culture. Tell me some of the things that your goal as you were doing worship, and therefore the changes you needed to make.
yeah. Well, so I think number one was, from a music point of view, right? I think that was the first place. So the content for me was key. Number one was, what does it look like to pull worship music, and get it to the place where, so when you look at a lot of the idea of Christianity, there's a come as you are idea behind Christianity, which is, the idea is, you come, let God change you, right? So you don't have to change. You don't have to change to come. You come, and then God, and then the work of the Holy Spirit changes you, right? And a lot of people focused on the change. A lot of church focused on change, then come. Change how you dress, then come. Change how you talk, then come.
Wow.
Change the music you listen to, and then come, right? And so we talked about this whole idea of, what would be to create a come as you are music culture. So and this stuff, obviously, a lot of it was done instinctively, and some of it was done strategically, because the music that us guys are doing out in the world sounds a certain way and feels a certain way, and then you come to church, then you're like, oh, we need to change it. So for me, it was just creating one life, So the music, as far as what it felt like, I was like, it should feel the same from a musical point, not from a spirit point of view, but from a music point of view. And so now we started doing band arrangements and band hits, and
Wow.
Finding different types of songs that wouldn't necessarily be worship songs but worked. So we went deep into Fred Hammond and Israel and all of those guys, and the impact of that for sure for us was, then now people found stylistically the music was where culture was, right? Yeah, so it's not that you have to come in and then now learn church culture.
I get
you
it.
just come in and it's where culture is, but the Holy Spirit is there, and the words are full of they're gospel centered. They're so that was the Mavuno experiment.
That's so powerful. The first song I ever heard at Mavuno, and I've never heard it again anywhere else. In fact, I think it was a Mavuno composition. It's you're welcome here. I just wanna say You're welcome here.
Yeah.
Like I've never heard that song anywhere else.
Yeah,
and I've never heard it again at Mavuno.
Yeah.
But number two, I even forgot about this other album that you've done.
Yeah.
We've done an album with Aaron.
Yeah.
And there's a song called Can I Come, Lord?
Yes.
As I Am.
What album was that?
I have so many albums you don't even know. In my weakness, help me understand.
Oh, that was a Chapel album. I believe that was a Chapel album. And it had When We Pray with Rebecca Dawn.
Oh.
Right? It had Can I Come? And then
No, it was not. That album is called Simplified. You and Aaron did an album, piano and voice.
Oh no, that's later. If you're trying to go chronologically, that's later.
Oh yeah, that's later, but that song is it's just.
Oh, got you.
But you did have a Chapel album.
There was a Chapel album.
Okay.
There's a Chapel album, and
When We Pray.
When We Pray.
That's a gift you used to give to visitors
Yes.
at Mavuno Church. That's how I had that song.
Yes.
Wow, was that even a thing that you thought of?
Not quite. I can't remember. All I know is I came up with the idea of doing like a compilation project of like songs that Chapel loved, like some originals and some songs they loved, and actually it was all originals, but songs, and then we ended up writing a few songs to add to the thing. So, and that project was simply like, it was a nostalgia project for the guys who had been there for long.
Okay.
But then it ended up now also being like a thing that we used for like first time visitors, etc.
Oh, I get.
When we pray, circumstances fade away. When we pray, healing comes our way. When we pray, the Father heals our land. There's a fire that lights inside us when we pray. When we pray, circumstances fade away. When we pray, healing comes our way. When we pray, the Father hears our land. There's a fire that lights inside us when we pray. I had no money for rent. I just lost my job. I got carjacked on Waiakiwe. My mother sick in bed. Doctor said there's nothing he could do, for she'd soon be dead. But since I prayed, everything has changed. Oh, 'cause when we pray, circumstances they fade away. When we pray, healing comes away. When we pray, the Father heals our land. There's a fire that lights inside us when we pray. In a dry and weary land.
So who was in your worship team with you? Because vocally it's just you.
So, dude, I can't remember.
That long ago.
I know one of my first people to
The twins?
call. So at Nairobi Chapel, when we were still at Nairobi Chapel, I can't remember.
Yeah.
When we moved now to and started now
Mavuno.
Mavuno proper, so it was Angie Gashui.
Wow.
She was a call because we used to sing with her at Regios Baptist. I was like, hey, this thing is happening. It was Brian King, he was a youth pastor. He'd come in as like a youth something, and I found out he had such an amazing voice. So Brian King, with a couple of the twins, Mwendi used to sing. We had Benja. So those guys from what was that group called? Votaries. So Votaries ended up being a good resource for us guys, even though not all of them sang with us, but Benja and Brian were, and Ben Gitz.
Yes.
Those were some major guys, and they kind of followed Brian because Brian now came to do the youth ministry, right?
Wow. So this is that formation time. That means this becomes a new job. It's a
new thing now.
It's a new thing in your career.
Yeah.
There's Kijiji, and now this is now the birth of Kanjii, the worship leader.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's kind of like how that formation happened. So, and then obviously Kavudha was which, and wonderful, incredible singer.
Kavudha was on Mavuno?
Yeah, she was on that first worship team.
Wow.
Yeah. She was. And then I believe I pulled in Cheesy. So I'm also pulling in I'm like, just from the Kijiji world, I'm just doing mix and mash. And most of those first guys, I just kind of called on and told them, here's what I'm doing. Hey, let's do something cool together.
What freedom do you feel you are given to enable you to achieve what it is that you achieved?
Oh, it was incredible freedom. I think because Pastor M had discipled me and mentored me. So number one, we had, and we've always had like incredible amount of trust. So and that is the most important, I think, for me to perform in anything at a high level. Like trust is so important. And so he trusted me and I trusted him, and so and number two, he understood that he could point the direction that we should go, but he understood that I was between the two of us, I was the authority in this area.
Wow.
And so he was like, me, I can just say, hey, it feels, or it's not, but you take us there, right? So that enabled, it was such an enabling environment.
That is insane.
Yeah, it was a very powerful environment, by the way. And because of that, then my ownership was at an all-time level. So there was no differentiating. At some point, it was very hard to differentiate between Mavuno worship and Kijiji. They are the same thing. They were the same thing.
True.
When we did the Mavuno worship project, it was Kijiji that executed it, and it was under Kijiji's record label that the Mavuno worship project happened.
Yeah.
There's
a time you brought all of us as employees.
Everyone, exactly. There was no. It was the integration.
Oh, that's crazy.
The integration was wild.
Okay, does this then move next into, actually, one thing I want to talk about, payment in church.
Yeah.
For bands in particular. I honestly speaking believe you're the one who brought in that culture.
Yeah.
What was the thinking behind it?
So,
because I don't want somebody coming in not understanding the core culture, because you've it's been years.
Yeah.
What was the heart that made you bring that conversation?
Yeah, so I think for me what it was and I don't think I'd go as far as saying, I was the first to do it. I'm sure there were guys who gave their band a stipend or whatever. My approach was slightly different though, because we got people who are professional musicians. This is their livelihood. This is what they do for a living. So for me, it was no different from a guy who's a pastor. This is what he does for a living, right? Is working a church. And when I looked at the church world, I saw everyone who, if they did it for a living, they got paid. An accountant, that's what he does for a living. He gets paid as an accountant. He might have side hustles and might be doing books for his uncle and whatever. But here at church, his expertise is what? Accounting. He's paid as an accountant. So I think for me it just followed, right? That this guy, this person's expertise is playing keys. That's what he does. That's how he makes a living for himself. So then and that has always been my defense of paying instrumentalists. I just feel like it's unfair if it's okay if no one's being paid. If no one's being paid, then it's all
fine.
Yeah. But if there's some guys being paid, then
the guy coming to cut the grass is being paid.
Yeah. Then why isn't this guy who's shredding the guitar not being paid? So
I'm still yet to find somebody who was doing it before you with this intentionality.
Yeah.
To the point where it's not a donation.
Exactly.
It's not a handout like, thank you for serving. No.
Yeah.
This wasn't a thank you for serving.
No. It was. I mean, it was basically.
This is.
I want the best. I want the best people, and it wasn't mercenary eke. So I'm not just looking for good people. I'm looking for good people who fit our culture and want to do what we're trying to do and want to be here. But then now also I want to be able to make sure that that we pay them, and that was that obviously created a lot of positive momentum with the musicians.
Okay.
Because now when I'm saying, hey man, let's do some strange arrangements which are gonna require extra time from you. People are cool. They're easy. Yeah.
And okay, I want you to take over the story. I don't want to lead you on it, but there's so many different components at this point.
Yeah.
That are happening because there's this Mavuno that has started, and Mavuno on its own is a beast that leads into MWP, which you'll get into.
Yeah.
But personal life.
So personal life now looks like, as an artist, I've formed a band called the. Have I?
You have.
I formed the Villagers. So my approach has always been I'm extremely competitive. People maybe don't know this about me, but I'm extremely competitive. But it's a tamed. It's not a demon. It's. I'm competitive because I think competing. That mindset helps me get better, right? So my mindset. Eric has invited me to his show, to his event. I'm coming to be the most memorable thing at that gig.
Yeah. Okay, I want you to take over the story. I don't want to lead you on it, but there's so many different components at this point.
Yeah.
That are happening because there's this Mavuno that has started, and Mavuno on its own is a beast that leads into MWP, which you'll get into.
Yeah.
But personal life.
So personal life now looks like, as an artist, I've formed a band called the. Have I?
You have.
I formed the Villagers. It's around this time. The timelines might be a bit wonky. So so the timeline's wonky for sure. But we've obviously the company is called Kijiji Records. So I was like, I don't even know why I felt like we needed a house band, and what inspired it, but created a band, and the band I called it the Villagers, and the Villagers band.
This is crazy.
Now people maybe know that band,
Yes.
and don't know I'm the one who named it and started it.
Yes, because
You
of
know,
Kijiji.
Exactly,
Yes.
because of Kijiji,
Yes.
right? And that band has Chris Adwa, Asa Fuzele. The drummers kept on changing over time, but the drummer who was really there was Ken
Yep.
Boti. And then on guitar, we had Dan Zidane, and Kruba Ojiambo, whoever's bro, JJ's big bro. So that was the band.
That's good. And singers?
And singers changed so many over time. Singers, I can tell you some of the singers. I can't tell you all of them. Jege came back.
Go artist.
Jege was one of the singers.
Monica
Monica was one of the singers.
Obaga.
Yeah.
This timeline
Monica
was early.
Yeah,
you're right.
Monica Obaga, wonderful singer. The singers, we rotated so many singers. Like,
Okay.
I can't remember all. And Neema used to sing for me. Neema, what's her name?
Silayo now.
Silayo. So the singers ebbed over time,
Yeah.
right? So,
but what is the vision? Why were you creating this band?
I was creating this band. I think I wanted. I'm not too sure why. Okay, so I needed my own band because Kinaroro were the Four Winds band. So I didn't want to use them. At church, I was okay using them, but then I was like, I needed my own band, and I had this theory, which I still hold today, that you can get any 4 players together, and in time they can become a really good band. So I didn't necessarily say, oh man, who are the best, da 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 da.
I get.
I was like, just who are the guys I'm feeling, and let's, here's what I'm trying to do. I want to create a band, and so we created. That's how the Villagers formed.
That's crazy.
And for me, I'm like, yeah, if you practice, the band will be a good band. So then now I'm not too sure what caused me to start doing some live events. I'm not too sure. Maybe it was just my artistic. I needed an outlet or something, and maybe thought there was a revenue in stream there. So I started now this live band performances
As Kanjii now.
as Kanjii.
Kanjii and the Villagers.
Kanjii and the Villagers. And then
Chris Adwa was on keys.
Chris was on keys.
That's crazy.
So and we'd write songs. So that's where Kina Aumbe got written, and all of those are now part of the Possible. All of those were part of the Villagers set, right? And I think I had to take advantage of corporate gigs, da 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 da. It was just a move,
Yeah.
But some of the memorable things there, which is kind of like gets a segue into kind of like the whole live band scene. So before this, the live band scene doesn't really exist outside of Eric Wainaina.
True.
As far as live band of urban music.
True.
Yeah. So there was live band happening for
The Congolese,
yeah,
that kind
exactly.
of style. Yes.
But not like urban, not that urban sound. So so Eric has his squad. Kavudha has her Four Winds squad. They're mainly a worship squad. And we'll do the occasional, I guess, things. So Eric had this show, and I'm sure you can he talks about it in his CTA at Club Sound.
Yeah.
Club Sound? It was Club Sound, right? So Eric came back and is like, man, me, I'll I want to do a gig in a club, and so I think attended it, and I was like, oh man, dude, this is amazing, this is so cool. And then I think he invited me to come play for the next one or something like that, and to open for him, and I remember that gig. So my approach has always been I'm extremely competitive. People maybe don't know this about me, but I'm extremely competitive. But it's a tamed. It's not a demon. It's. I'm competitive because I think competing. That mindset helps me get better, right? So my mindset. Eric has invited me to his show, to his event. I'm coming to be the most memorable thing at that gig.
Yeah.
Like I'm not playing games. Boss, we hit that gig so hard. We hit so hard. Oh my God.
That's crazy.
We hit it hard, bana. And so now I've developed my dance moves, bana. The kina handlebars, guys are like, what is going on here, man? Kickstart. Kickstart. Like all that stuff. Yeah, we were doing all of that stuff. Yeah. And that was a really like that was almost like a rival moment. I felt for me. Was like, okay, like I think we have something really cool here with this live band situation. And so I did a couple of things with Eric Wainaina. We collaborated quite well.
Even musically.
Yeah, so weirdly, musically we've not collaborated. Like we only have one song that we've ever sang together, like on the same record.
Mabawa.
And it was on his album.
Siku za mwezini arobaini na mchumba wangu amenitoroka, alinishika nikionja tunda marufuku, midomo yangu na asali. Oyo mepotea njiani, namtafuta simuoni, ameniacha wasiani.
And in fact, a while ago we were like, man, that's weird that we actually never actually got to sing together. But it's
still time, homie. You're still breathing. Are you talking like it's past tense?
Ain't nobody interested in no 50-year-olds collabing.
Back in our day.
Yeah. Do some doo-wop. Anyway.
Or you collaborate a lot in terms of events?
Yeah, we collaborated a lot in terms of event. We shared resources. We spoke quite often.
I remember Kanjii, fast forwarding a bit, but Kanjii versus Eric.
Yeah, that was the culmination of this live band experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yo, this is my story, and my story is every man's story. There's that one time in your life when you met this girl, you wanted to talk to her, and you practiced all the wonderful, beautiful lines that you could think of. But when the time came, it flew out the window.
I saw this young girl walking down a crowded street. She looked so good, I really wanted to go up and meet her. It was plain to see we were meant to be. Hey, yeah, 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 na 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 I'm still waiting.
for you to call. Say, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. Hey, for you to call. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kanjii Mbugua. Cinema goes in a matena, Kolomatana, whoa. Sitatala Luis on a go yes and I'm Sunday, Satan go daily God. Si coaching the machola, Messica, and Antimacosa man. Sing mama goes, me so high. Everybody say, I'm still waiting. Hey, hey. I'm still waiting. Oh, yeah. I'm still waiting. Oh, my, for you to call. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. Yeah, yeah. For you to come. Verse 2. Some can I go, some man ways, a goes on mama, yeah. Sitetela Luis o Jesu na msanje Satan zoideli gane Namachos Sike mangeza botela Simba mama Jesu abola Aye. Everybody say, I'm still waiting. Say, I'm still waiting. Say, I'm still waiting. Oh man, for you to call. For you to call, yeah. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. Oh Lord, Lord, I'm still waiting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For you to come. Listen, yo. You have my number. You have my number. 0707. Hey, you have my number. You have my number. 0707. Ay, Namate. You have my number. Hey, 07. Hey, ring. Hey, ring me. Call something right now. I want you ring 07. My number. Hey. Ring me, yeah. Ring me, yeah. Ring. Call. I want ring. Somebody you to come. Bring it down, everybody say, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. Here we go. For you to come.
So we started doing these gigs, and then that's when, you know, so personally for me as an artist, that's what's happening with me.
Okay.
I'm
So
trying
where were you doing your first Live at the Village? Where were you doing the first Kanjii and the Villagers event?
So the first Kanjii and the Villagers event.
Or did you even call it Live at the Village at that time? No.
No, it became Live at the Village at Carnival.
Okay.
So Carnival was the first Live at the Village. But there this little to, you know, we're here, we're there.
Okay. Did you have your own venue? Did you have your own venue where you would constantly be at?
Carnival. Carnivals.
No, before Carnival.
No. So we would move around. So we had several gigs at there was a venue on Mombasa Road.
Not Visions. No.
And,
Okay.
and that's like where we had Helon's launch, and we had a concert for him there.
Okay.
But then
Okay.
we also used French Cultural Center quite a bit, and we had several gigs there, and especially the jazz events. That's where they would be.
Okay.
In fact, we ended up building a live brand for jazz called Village Jazz. And so that's where Aaron, Helon, and Kongo, who we did a bass album for, which we lost. Story for another day.
Yeah.
So the jazz events would happen more at French Cultural Center. And then Live at the Village more evolved for the other singers. So
Okay.
myself, Cheesy,
Okay.
except now that became like our outlet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just one thing on the jazz before we move on to other sides of your personal. Keys of Life. You know that album is so monumental in terms of the history of jazz music in Kenya.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?